Cube is in the building. Luca's in the building. What's up, Luca? Welcome in. Welcome in, y'all. Ryland's in the building. What's up, Ryland? Welcome in to the stream. I appreciate y'all tapping in today. It has been a minute. I haven't been on in, I guess, like over a week at this point. M's in here. Dove is in the building. Jack, welcome in here. I appreciate y'all tapping in today. Welcome to the stream. If you have never been here before, please let me know where you are joining from. If you make music, what kind of music do you make? Talk to me for a little bit, and we're going to get into some music here in just a little bit. Jack, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you a lot. Derek Bennett's in the building. Keith is in here. Ern, welcome in. Derek is in the building. Ern, thank you so much for following. I got something on my teeth. What are you talking about? Hold on. Is that true? Got some peppers going on here. Oh, you're so right. Thank you so much. We got some peppers. We got some peppers in here. I appreciate it. Dude, Derek, I haven't been on in like over a week, man. I've been slammed with. I was like, hold on, what the hell? I did just eat right before this, so that makes a whole lot of sense. Thank you for looking out. I appreciate it. Yeah, I haven't been on in a while. Zane, I love the Poly D. Such a crazy sense, dude. I love it. Mine's broken right now, unfortunately. I'm waiting to hear back from Behringer. Judah's in the building. What's up, Judah? Welcome into the stream. I appreciate you being here. I'm waiting to hear back from Behringer. I have a broken distortion circuit, distortion circuit rocker switch. I need to get it replaced, and they're giving me kind of a hard time. Or not really even like a hard time. They just don't really, they're like, we don't typically send the part just on its own. We, usually recommend that you go through their service centers and like whatever stuff like that. Hold on. Thank you, Judah. Thank you for the heart me, Brighton. Thank you for the roses. I appreciate that a lot. Judah, thank you for that heart me. I appreciate that. Yeah, so right now I'm trying to get them to just send me the rocker switch so I can solder it in myself. That is the issue that I'm really I don't really use it. Dude, it's the same thing. I don't really use the distortion on there much. I had one client that they hired me to do some session work, some synth stuff for them. And on this one lead, I was like, you know what? Let me do kind of almost like a lead guitar, like a distorted lead monophonic synth line over the top. And I was like, the one time I turn it on and then the switch is loose, it's broken, and it cuts all sound because it's an inline distortion circuit. And it was an absolute nightmare. So I was like, I never use it. And then all of a sudden it's giving me issues. Dun, dun. RMDJ, thank you so much for tapping in. Thank you for hopping in. I appreciate you being here. Welcome in from France. Let me open the chat on my phone here really quick so I can see what's going on. Thank y'all so much for tapping into the stream today. I'm going to get some things updated here in a second. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate you a lot. I'm into a lot, Aaron. I'm into a lot of different stuff. Let me pull up the chat because I know I'm missing some stuff. I'm into a lot of different music. I work on a lot of stuff and I listen to a lot of stuff. I tend to gravitate towards stuff with like 80 sound design, but that could be anywhere from like pop R&B to hip hop all the way across the board in a lot of different genres. I just like synths. For those of you who don't know, I like synths a lot. So anything that has synths tends to be something that I appreciate and I tend to like. But I listen to a lot of like 80s stuff, like Depeche Mode, Tears for Fears, Aha, stuff like that. Kavinsky, Time Cop, 1983, stuff like that. That's a lot in that space. I like synthwave, synth heavy stuff. Let me catch up on some of the chat here. I saw some people asking questions. Christian, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. I'll get into the music stuff here in just one moment. Love's in the building. What's up, Love? Thank you so much for tapping in today. We'll get into listening to some music here in just a moment. I appreciate y'all being here so much. Thank y'all for tapping into the stream. If y'all are interested in submitting music, if you want to get into the consultation side, we will here in just a little bit. I'm just going to catch up on the chat. We'll get the stream moving here. We'll get things flowing. We'll chat with y'all for a minute. But if you go to my profile, you'll see all of the details. Go to my profile, click on the link. You'll see everything that you need there. Cash, thank you, music. Cash, thank you, music. Cash, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it a lot. My brain doesn't work. Yeah, absolutely any genres. Absolutely any genres. 100%. Yeah, we're going to listen to things all across the board. Derek, thank you for the heart me. I appreciate that a lot. Slim is in the building. Perfect, Derek. Perfect. If y'all want to submit, go to my profile and click on the link right there. You'll see everything that you need. Just please read through and follow all the steps, and we'll get you moving in the right direction. If you're on the purple app, type exclamation point in the chat. You'll see what you need right there. If you're on the red app, go to the description. You'll see the link right there. I'll explain everything in a second. So if you're not sure what we do here and you're not sure the structure of this live stream, then I will explain all of the details here in just a couple minutes. Until that time, make sure y'all are tapping the screen like crazy. Share out the live with a few people, and we'll get rocking and rolling here in a minute. Let me just see if I had any questions here that I missed here. Aaron, I got you. Let me see. I should get a song play for Saving the Teeth. You're not too far off. I use my own effects I have on my looper. Yeah, Zane, like I have some guitar pedals down underneath there too, that I use too. Actually, what's cool is I have, I can show it in a minute, but I have you can't really see it from this side. You can see it if you're on the other platforms. Westfall, welcome in. I see you, Westfall. I have a Juno 60 pedal. It's a guitar pedal, but it's a Juno 60 dual circuit chorus, just like they have in the Juno 60 and Juno 106, which I have back there, a Juno 106. And it allows me to actually use that sort of chorus circuitry on whatever I want. So like if I want to use it, I can actually like run my mini log or run any of like the Pro 800 Pro 1 or the K2 or anything like that. I can run it through a Juno circuit and give it that texture and stuff if I want to, or just run my guitars through it. Actually, my favorite thing, I just got a new, is it Mafe? Thank you so much for tapping in. I really appreciate y'all being here. Have you ever listened to Filipino music? Yes, I definitely have, Ern. Who really recommend Pedro, my manual, very beautiful. Wendy, thank you so much for hopping in. Yeah, I'll get into submissions here in a second. Once I get some things rolling here, just give me 2 minutes. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that as well. But you can't see it on this stream. Yeah, I just got this Hofner. This is like an old, like 50s, 60s emulation here, but this is like a 62 emulation. But it is still from Hofner. It's a violin bass. I'm loving using this through the Juno chorus. Like running this through the Juno 60 chorus is such a like classic, anything from like 60s to 80s. It gives such a beautiful, beautiful tone. It sounds absolutely amazing. So I just got that, and I've been messing around with it. And it's treated me really well. I actually switched it out for another. It's an Artcore hollow body bass that I had for a while as well. Saint, yes, you definitely can. Actually, let me throw it up. If you want to see the line, just go to my profile, click on the link, and you'll see, just go to the red or purple app, use your imagination, YT, and you can see the line and everything right there. Okay, y'all, let's get into some music. I don't have a whole lot of time today. Carolyn, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. Thank y'all for those of you who have come in and followed or liking the live and sharing the live. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for doing that. We're gonna get into some music, y'all. So if y'all, I can't talk, y'all. It's been like a long week. I've been slammed with projects and other work, so I haven't been live for the last like week and a half. I've just been working like crazy on projects and trying to get some session stuff finished up before I hopped on live. And it was just easier for me to focus and not be too distracted by chats and stuff. So it has been a while since I've been live, but for those of you who don't know, welcome to Track Talk. Welcome to the family. I'm so glad that y'all are here. Welcome into the stream. If you've never been here before, Track Talk are 20 to 30 minute long form detailed breakdowns of the structure of your music. They are long form consultations. We're going to spend 20 to 30 minutes digging into the details and the nuances of your music. We'll dive into the mix and master, production elements, sound design, and lyric structure. We're going to get into song formatting. Saint, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it a lot. This is not a quick review. This is not a trash or pass. There are no ratings. There are no polls. This is strictly a detailed long-form consultation on the structure of your music. Like I said, each song that we listen to is like 30 minutes long. I'm not going to tell you to get a better mix and have better energy, bro, and then move on in 5 minutes. It is a long-form, detailed, multiple listen breakdown of the structure of your music. So if you're wanting to get into the nuances of what you're doing, you want to dive in, get a professional second set of ears on what you're doing, and really get into the details of your music. That's what this live stream is all about. This is not a hype live. I'm not here to give you exposure. If that happens, beautiful. I'm very, very happy for you. It's just not what I'm here to do. It's not my priority. I'm not here to trash you. I'm not here to roast you. I'm here to really get into the details and nuances of what you're doing and hopefully offer you some specific, professional, practical, and actionable feedback on the structure of your music. Jay, thank you so much for hopping in. I appreciate you being here. Love, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. If anybody does want to submit for a consultation, the line is already up on the other platforms. You can check it out. I do need to update it really quickly because it says closed, and we're not. Go to my profile and click on the link, and you'll see all of the details right there if you would like to submit. Retract's in the building. Retract, good to see you, family. I appreciate you being here. But if you want to submit, that is the way that you submit. You're not going to submit here in the chat. All the details are going to be through that link. Really quick. Okay, and then for those of you who don't know me, you've never been here before, it's your first time stopping by, my name is Torvik. I'm a full-time audio engineer, producer, and session musician. That is what I do for a living. I've done that for 13 plus years. I'm also a classically trained musician, been playing piano since I was 6 years old, did guild, all that fun stuff, was classically trained for 13 years. So that's kind of the foundation of what we're doing here. And the perspective that we hold is not just, do I like your music or not? I really want to get into like the details and the structure and the nuances of the way that you build your sound design, the way that you approach your music, the way that you approach your creativity. Again, I'm not here to trash you. I'm not here to hype you up. I don't care about exposure. I care about the nuances of what you're doing creatively and practically. And so that is the format of what we're doing here. Joel's in the building. What's up, Joel? It's so good to see you, man. We got to connect. We got to connect, man. I appreciate you tapping in. Okay, hold on. Let me double check some things here too. Retrack, it's so good to see you. Let me just make sure that I'm caught up here real quick, and then we're going to dive into some stuff here in just a second. But yeah, if y'all do want to submit, there's no pressure. There's no rush, nothing like that. I'm only going to be on for like literally like 6 songs today, y'all. Like I said, I haven't been on in like a week and a half. I've been slammed. Derek, let me double check for you in a second. Yes, Derek, I got you, man. I appreciate you so much. Actually, I'm on the wrong email here. Let me update a few things. Hold on. Let me, Joel, if you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link. All the details are right there. Joel, thank you for tapping in. I appreciate you being here. I'm just catching up on some follows here as well. I appreciate y'all. Is it Taylin Vale? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. I'm missing some here because my computer, Jesus Christ, my computer is not telling me what the names are. RP Zombie, thank you for the follow. Rapbot, thank you for the follow. I appreciate y'all a lot. We're going to dive into some stuff here in a second. Give me just a minute to catch up. Give me a minute to just catch up and make sure I've got everything. Okay. Just working. I got the wrong email up here. Slayer King, welcome in. Let me open up. Hey. Corella's in the building. What's up, Corella? Derek, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the help there. ZZ, welcome in. June's in the building. What's up, June? It's good to see you, June. I hope you're doing fantastic as well. All right, one moment. I gotta switch this up over here. I gotta open up a different email. So give me just one moment here. Ian's in the building. Yeah, it's chaos. I've gotten pretty organized. I'm just doing too much sometimes. We got love in the building. Okay, so let me go ahead and update. Let me update here. Hey, thank you, June. I appreciate it. Let me update the line and all that stuff just real quick. Give me a second. I've already got like 12 people over there where we're at. So let me get Derek in the building. Derek, I got you with your 2. Boom, you're set. Love, I got you. So I'm going to get you up there. And I know we're getting some, let me see really quick. If you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link. All the details are right there. And if you want to see the line, go to the red app or the purple app. Just YT, use your imagination. Let me update this here real quick. It's going to be pretty short and sweet today. I'm not going to be on for very long, probably 6 to 8 tracks tops. So I'm going to keep this where it's at for now, but it's going to be updated pretty quick. I'll be honest with you. I'm actually going to keep the minimum where it's at. We're going to be moving at a pretty good pace here. Yeah. Joey's in the building. Welcome in, Joey. I appreciate you being here. All right. And I know we got Hydra coming in as well. I shot them a message. I know they're coming in. Let me get Love up in the building here. Is this a Westfall? Is this a Westfall track? Just so I can get you in the right spot. Keegan's in the building. Welcome in, Keegan. Yeah, if anybody wants to submit. Joe, thank you for time. I just saw Joe. Thank you for the gold medal, man. I appreciate you so much. I'm so sorry if I missed that gift. Thank you so much for the gold medal, Joe. I appreciate you a lot. Keegan, if you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link. All the details are right there. Ooh, it's nice. CF, thank you so much for hopping in. I appreciate you joining the stream. I'm gonna just make sure I get these updated because I want to make sure I get I want to make sure that I get love. Oh wait, I'm seeing it on the wrong screen. This is all over the place. It's a Westfall track. Okay, sorry. It wasn't updating my information over there for some reason. So let me get this clear and let me get Westfall up on the board. Westfall, I appreciate the submission. Thank you so much. YOS, thank you for joining the stream. Appreciate you being here. All right, we got Westfall in the building. I got you. All right, line should be current. It should be ready to go. It should be updated. Westfall, I appreciate you tapping in today. Thank you so much for being here. All right, y'all. Once again, if you want to submit for a 20 to 30 minute long form detailed, Libby, thanks for the heart me, detailed breakdown of the structure of your music. Once again, this is not a review. There's no trash or pass ratings or polls. This is a detailed 30-minute consultation on the structure of your music. So if you want to go deep, you want to get into the practical and actionable aspects of your music, that's what this live stream is all about. No trash or pass ratings or polls. Let's just get into the details of your music. We're going to listen to your song multiple times and really dive into the nuances of what you're doing creatively. Once again, for those of you who don't know, my name is Torvik. I'm a full-time audio engineer, producer, and session musician. That is what I do for a living. Done that for 13 plus years. So if you want to get into the details, that's what this live is all about. Gotta put cozy tiger, always looking at a front of fight and making a so of course, definitely. All right. Let's get into some music, y'all. Anna, thank you so much for tapping in as well. I appreciate you being here. All right. Westfall, I see you in the chat. Let me get this updated and let's get into. Oh, that's the wrong email. Hold on. Jesus. I haven't been live in like a week and a half. And so it's like chaos over here. I got to switch to the submission email over here. Yeah. If anybody does want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link. All of the details are right there. All right, love. Let's get it. Hydra's in the building. Hydra, I see you. We're running right now. Get yourself up where you want to. Line is over on the red app. Let's get it. This is downloaded. This is Fractured Hope. Give me all of the details, Westfall. We're up. Hydra. We made it, baby. We made it. It's been, I got you. This one, we're running this one right now already since we're in the middle. But then the rest is up to you. Yeah. Love, give me all the details. This is Fractured Hope. This was done on BandLab. Still a demo. Give me the deets. Let's dive in. Perfect. Watching you walk away, I would scream for you in pain. Really quick, how deep are you into this song structure so far? Give me some context really quick, love too. You said it's still a demo, but how far are you into the creation of this? I learned to love quiet, 'cause no one ever said you taught me how to break, but never how to stay. Fractured home, pretending I was fine. Got you. Too scared to let it show. Fabrizio, welcome in. Now I see your eyes, they look like mine. I'm terrified of who I'll be this time. 25 is playing now. I'm learning how to stay. Go to my profile, click on the link. Is some of the background generated? Got you. You can hear some of that warble. Adam, welcome in. What all have you tracked, Westfall? Okay, everything else. for 2. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Got you, Hydra. Appreciate you, man. Love that higher register, man. Come on. Come on, come on. Y'all show some up. Give it up one time. Katie Joe, I appreciate the follow so much. Thank you for that. Hydra, I got you 40. You're ready to go, man. I appreciate you. We're going to run this back from the top. Let me get everything in order over here. Great, James. Thanks for tapping into the stream. Y'all show some love to Westfall right here in the chat. Show some love to Westfall in the chat. Let's get into the details of this. Okay, so really quick. Yeah, you definitely can, Duke. 100%. Thank you, James. I appreciate you for tapping in. Thank you for being here. Bless you as well. Scatterbrain, thanks for tapping in. That's my middle name. Let's get into some details here really quick. If y'all do want to submit your music for a consultation, go to my profile, click on the link, and just read through and follow all the steps there. But please check the line. Please check the line over on the red app, YT. Go check the line on the red app over there that we can see the orders and minimums, because it does change over time as well. Thank you for the follow, Duke James. I appreciate that a lot. Let me get this updated really quick over here. And then I think Derek... I think I just saw something, so give me a second. Got you, Derek. I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for that. Let's see, and then let's get straight back into it. Bricks, yeah. If you want to go to my profile, click on the link, and just read through and follow all the steps. But please check the line first, so we can get you in the right spot. And then Hydra just got your email as well. All right, line is updated. And let's run this back. Let me see. Let me go back into the chat here really quick. Definitely the instrumental is lacking. I want to hit harder, but my band can't find the vision. Vocals need to be redone in some parts. Okay, yeah, so what all of this is, so your vocals are tracked. What about the actual instrumental here is generated versus tracked, or is it just generated right now and you're still trying to get the inspiration to open it up on like the real instrumentation side? Is that kind of what you're talking about? Stevie D, welcome in. Henry, I got you as well. Hydra, I appreciate you so much. Let me get you updated as well. We've got a battle. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for that. Let me get this updated. All right, let's run it back from the top, and we'll tag into a couple things here. The vocals need to be redone in some parts. Okay, let's dive into some of the details here. All of the instrumental is generated. I just said, hey, this is up to you. This is up to you. So I want to keep mixing after. I got you. Okay, so you're still waiting on the band to kind of find their vision for the instrumental. You've only tracked vocals so far. Am I picking up what you're putting down? I want to make sure. All right, let's run it from the top. This is Fractured Hope. Beautiful. All right, let's get into it. So that's Chloe, welcome in. That's where I'm going to approach kind of from that perspective here, mainly talking about production structure. What do you feel like right now is some of your pain points right now in doing that? Because obviously you have like a generated structure built for you to match. Are you having a hard time matching tone and timbre? Are you having a difficult time just building sound design that matches that or that feels your own? Let me know kind of what some of you feel like your creative pain points are, and we'll dig into those a little bit as well. All right. I grew up watching you walk away. I would scream. The guitarist is wanting to go to dark and more heavier. Okay, and this is a little bit more progressive. I see what you're saying. So you're just kind of fighting tonally with what you want to do here. Song is in G sharp minor. Is a day though, just he tracked his idea and I wasn't feeling it. I got you. Okay. I grew up watching you walk away. I would scream for you in pain. I learned to love the quiet. Content strategist. Welcome in, man. You taught me how to break, but now Okay, one thing that I would recommend, at least in your starting points here, Billy, appreciate you tapping in. And your starting points here early on in your production structure is keeping it a little bit. I know you said they want to go a little bit heavier. There's a way that you can compartmentalize this a little bit to be very clean and very open on your verses, and still go a little heavier, detuned down to. In this case, you could be in drop D sharp on your rhythm guitars. So even if you're just on a six string, does a drop D sharp for the low end of your guitars. So you're the main rhythm guitars, like your double track rhythm guitars, are really heavy D sharp right there. Nice, Slasher. Good to see you. Welcome in, man. I appreciate you tapping in. That D sharp is going to work really well. So you can still go heavier with some lower kind of chugs and some open strumming and stuff like that, and power chords for your double tracked rhythm electric guitars. On the other side of it, I think you can create some contrast by having a cleaner lead with like the D sharp 7. Having a little bit more openness right there, I think definitely helps. What I would recommend when you're tracking guitars for the verses here, right now what's generated is muddy. Is it Pia? Thank you so much. I appreciate that a lot. I do my best. On those cleaner tones on the intro right there and your verses right there, I would encourage you to keep that 7th there. I think it's a really nice tone. Obviously, what's generated is just like muddy and warbly and has a bunch of artifact and stuff that makes it feel messy. I would keep it like really sharp and really clean right there with a little bit of overdrive, so it feels very, very well established in your early intros. Nothing too muddy, because what's happening right now is it's so warbled, and again, because it's just not even what's going to exist there later on, that you're losing rhythm a little bit, and the vocal that's tracking over that is also losing its rhythm a little bit. So it just feels kind of loose, and then the vocal comes in a little bit early on some of its like secondary lines right there, so that feels out of time. And it as a listener, as a consumer, not even as a producer or anything, but as a consumer of the music, it can feel like it takes a little while to like catch your footing in the intro of this song right here, because the rhythm feels so loose. So when you're doing like these open picking patterns and stuff like that on like a cleaner, slightly overdriven, kind of broken up electric guitar early on, just make sure that it's like really clear. Dun, 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 over that 7th right there. A little bit of overdrive, move through. Dun, 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 dun. Give it a little bit of edge, but nothing too muddy. Make the rhythm of it really clear, because it's the only thing directing that vocal. It's the only thing kind of telling you where the rhythm is right there. Okay, let's run this back just a little bit here. What's up, Jenna? It's been a while. Welcome in. Colin, welcome in as well. And then we're just going to want to build in, again, just kind of point, hopefully, ideally, just kind of pointing you in the right direction as far as structure and stuff goes here. Same, Jenna, I haven't been on for like a week and a half. Let me back it up here just a little bit here. Yeah, I doubt that's Derek. Yeah, Derek's the last person to recommend Suno. All right, let me back it up here. I really, these. I really like when you do that melody choice right there. I think is really nice, moving to the minor. I think that's like really engaging. It feels really emotional. I would just probably suggest there being some filler in between that. Whether that's like a vocal movement in between, I think that would be a great spot for a counter melody moving on the other side of it. So the with like a clean electric guitar, a little bit of overdrive and chorus in the background, like a little counter melody to fill in some of those voids, and then move back into it. I was going to say, I'm missing your streams to live. Yeah, live has been lifing, Joseph, 100%. Yeah, I haven't been on in like a week and a half. I haven't been on like a week and a half, just been slammed with stuff. So I'm trying to catch up now and kind of get back into the flow this week. Hopefully that'll, I've had a bunch of random little things going on. All right, let me keep moving through this just a little bit. But yeah, I would recommend just filling in those gaps. Otherwise you hear a lot of the energy just kind of leave the mix there. Obviously with what's generated there, even with a nice sharp drum structure right there, with a good cadence and a, pretty powerful VST and stuff like that. Even outside of that, we just need something to fill in the gaps and keep the energy moving forward. Otherwise, you'll lose steam. New name before, because I followed you already. I thought. Ricky, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. Pretending I was fine, too scared like an electric guitar on the other side. We're going to live track drums. Beautiful. Chef's kiss. Love it. Love it. Love it. I'm assuming, obviously, the vast majority of what I hear is going to be different. The vast majority of what I hear is going to be live tracked. It's going to be the actual band and stuff like that. So just want to kind of point you in the right direction of make sure those clean electric guitar rhythms are really like sharp and pointed, so you establish the rhythm for the vocal early on. That's going to be vital. Otherwise, you're going to lose that with the vocal. And then some sort of counter melody to kind of fill in the gaps post some of those verses right there, going into your hook for the first time. Did you watch the Super Bowl? I did not watch the Super Bowl. I did not. I personally just don't. I don't keep up. I did watch the halftime. I'll be honest. I did watch the halftime. I did not watch the Super Bowl.
Now I see your eyes, they look like mine. I'm terrified of who I'll be this time.
And now here, this is where we need to have some tasteful reintroduction of energy as we get into this next section. Right? So, right, and that initial melodic structure right there. Then we need to have some build of energy going into the next section of the song. So what I would probably recommend would be, you could have some like reverses of the guitar, those initial chords that go into the hook right there. A reverse of the guitar, just and then hit the D sharp right there going into the hook. Reverse reverb with the reverse swell of that guitar, or even just like automating volume up on the guitar, or doing it straight from the volume knob on the guitar can help too. A little bit of feedback, introducing some feedback, so you get some kind of squeal going into that hook right there. Just some energy that builds without it. This would be drop D sharp. So like obviously, like typically your low string is an E on an electric guitar. And so in this case, if you want, you can just take all of that down one semitone. Just take it all down one semitone, and you'll be in drop D sharp. If you want to keep like the same sort of a tuning, and you could do like a dadgad tuning, or like an open D tuning, and drop all of that down to C sharp. I loved it. I thought it was amazing, Jenna. I thought the production was phenomenal. You can take it all, but yeah, just basically just take your entire tuning down a half step or down a semitone, and you'll be in D sharp, right? That way you can just play normal chords there. If you play, in this case, if you play an open E, you'd be playing a D sharp, an open D sharp. So you can kind of play like you're playing an E or like you're playing an A, and it'll give you some of the same movements and same phrasing and stuff like that. Galaxy, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. All right, let's keep it going just a little bit longer here. And then open this up, you definitely need, Alfredo, welcome in. You definitely need a heavy double-tracked rhythm electric guitar, probably with a nice open lead guitar over the top end that feels a little bit higher strung, has a little bit more tension to it, a little bit more energy to it. But I would definitely have probably 3 or 4 tracks of guitars here to give it the weight that you want. Especially if your buddy's wanting it to be a little bit heavier. I think you can go cleaner on your verses, heavier on your hook, to kind of find a balance between the two there. Double track, rhythm electric guitars, go left and right with those, and at least like one chorus lead over the top. Yeah, I answered that, Jenna. One chorus lead over the top to give it some brightness, give it some energy right there as well. Just following the same, don't do that. Same energy right there over the top. Frida, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, if anybody wants to submit, go to my profile and click on the link and just read through and follow all the steps. Could do a Beatles and put the guitars hard left and vocals hard. Yeah, could. Sometimes they'll just have kick left and snare right. It's amazing. Kick left. Oh, speaking of the Beatles, I just got me this, Hydra. You'd appreciate this. Boom, boom, boom. I just got this. It's not an original 62 or anything like that. It's a Hofner High Series B bass. But it's a lot of what they used in a lot of those early 60s records and stuff like that. It's pretty. It sounds amazing too. It's a really, really cool guitar, especially for the price. It's pretty. I like it. I traded my old Art Core for it. I had a hollow body bass that I traded out for it. It's nice. I've just been messing around with it. It's cool. I got you. If you need some like dead drums, some 60s stuff, I'm gonna be tossing some chorus on that and having some fun with it. Oh yeah, I loved it, Jen. It was really cool. Yeah, right. Just slap it in. It's cool. I got to move pretty quick tonight. Maybe I'll do it out, or what I'll probably just do is post content with it. That makes it easier so I can do it on my own time. Okay, let's keep it moving. Hopefully, Westfall, hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully this is helping you out a little bit. The 610 is great. The 610 is kind of polarizing. The 610 is kind of I know a producer who's incredibly credited. They're very, very talented. They've been in the industry for like 40 years. They crush. And they kind of hate it. I hate's a strong word. You know, engineers are opinionated, right? They just don't love the way that it feels. It's like slightly warm, but it feels kind of dull to them. It feels like it's overly cuts transients. Some people love it. Some people think it's fantastic for what it does. So I've only used one time, so I don't have like a really in-depth experience with the 610, but I know some people that love it and I know some people that hate it. So I really just think it depends on what you're looking for. Yeah, exactly. So that makes all the sense in the world. It's like, so for people that want like more transient response, they want more, actually coming through a little bit more transparent, then you're probably not going to like it. But if you want really, really transparent, the Avalon's going to be probably a better option for you. Emma, thank you so much for tapping in. Yes, these are paid consultations, so it's a paid service. The line is right here, right next to me. All of the details. If you want to just like read through the structure of what we do, then just go to the link that's in the description of the live stream, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have as well. All right, let me double check a few things here. Yeah, if you're over on TikTok, anybody wants to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and just read through the details there. But yeah, some people love it, some people hate it.
You're the heart that wants my name. I'm not his ghost. I'll find my way.
And there's some, really nice vocal phrasing here. Like you said, there's some pockets that I want to clean up. I want to polish a little bit where the like introduction of the vocal, the rhythms, the pocket and phrasing of the vocals doesn't feel the most confident to me. So I'd love for some of those early vocal introductions to feel a little sharper, a little bit more confident. I don't know if you recorded this in BandLab. I don't know what your goal is going to be in tracking this in a DAW or not. But with a song like this, where you are definitely reaching for a higher register in your voice that takes a little bit more effort, takes a little bit more strain and a little bit more diaphragmatic support, I would suggest that you comp. I got you. I know it's so annoying. It's so annoying, Hydra. The audio's brutal. Audio's not fun over there sometimes. Since you're reaching a little bit and they far away, some of these higher notes, I would suggest being able to comp, or at least be able to punch in those vocals in a way that you can take it line by line a little bit cleaner and a little bit more distinctly, just because I think some of the phrasing going straight through, you're challenged with breath control, with diaphragmatic support, with just air and range, right? So I would give you each opportunity, like sentence by sentence, to just lock in each one of those vocals and make them really clean, really powerful, full mixed voice all the way through. I think it's going to be a lot cleaner that way. So whether you're in BandLab and you just need to do take by take on a couple different tracks or whatever you need to do to really, really lock it in, maybe you're already doing some of this as well, but I would highly suggest, because I'm hearing some of the issues with breath control and timing and stuff like that usually is fixed by just compartmentalizing and taking it line by line instead of trying to jump all the way through. And we have a location rig with the SSL alpha and a Focusrite red preamps. Yeah, the reds are great. Reds are great. ISAs are fantastic as well. Yeah, 100%. I've used the ISA before, and those are fantastic, especially for the price. Those are fantastic.
I'm learning how to stay. I see your face when I close my eyes. The air between us collide nice. Replay the
I appreciate you, Anima. Thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah. So that's great for like your demoing, Westfall. I think that's great to just get it out there, right? Just to get it into the DAW and track. But now that you know what the song is, you know what the structure of the song is, now we need to go back in and edit. I think it was either Pharrell. I think it was Pharrell who talks about this, of like creating loosely and then editing surgically, right? So like creating loosely and spontaneously and messy, create messy as necessary to get all of your ideas out, and then edit surgically. So you've created messy now, you got it out there, you got it in the DAW. Now it's time to edit surgically and get in there and be like, okay, this first introduction of the da-da-da, I need to lock that in. That first note that's coming in on this hook needs to be powerful. It probably needs to be doubled. You probably need to double on that vocal. I would love to hear a falsetto third note harmony on the outside of that as well. So on the right here, da-da-da-da-da, I would love to hear that. I would love to hear that on the outside of each part of on each side of the mix right there. And I know that either you or one of the other vocals, Jonathan, welcome in, good to see you. You or one of the other vocalists would be able to handle that third note harmony too. Stack that in tandem to that lead vocal on the outside, and then comp in, get everything sharp, get everything punchy, and I think you're going to be in a good spot. Good tip for breath control. This is Hydra over on the Purple app. Good tip for breath control is record sentence in the song word by word, like only one take, one word each time. Make sure you say the whole sentence each time, but you eliminate the breaths. Yeah, and that's too, like, there's a balance, right, Hydra? Especially like in electronic music, you're kind of getting really, really surgical. I forget who it was who was talking about this. There was a DJ that was talking about this, how they comp word by word and they melodyne word by word, and make sure it's like perfectly in time, perfectly, like it's got to be perfect. There's no room for error. In this case, I still want some of the natural breath. I still want some of the natural movement. Like I want it to be fairly organic and raw and feel like it has some good energy to it. I don't want it to be overly processed to where it feels robotic and like we've removed some of the natural human aspects to it. But I still do want like a comp of sentence at least, so that the timing and breath control is where it needs to be as well. Okay, because I want the breath. I just don't want it running out. You know what I mean? Like I still want to hear some of the breathing naturally. I just don't want it to run out because it's been a long run-on sentence. And then at the end of that sentence, you're reaching for your highest notes and have the least amount of like support and the least amount of breath.
Still bleed, you're the part of me I couldn't keep.
Eilish comps like crazy. If you look at like Phineas's sessions, there might be like 120 different comp points. It's crazy. They comp, and then that's not necessary for everyone, right? Like the way that excuse me, the way that she sings, the way that they like Phineas comps is like she'll be like, I don't like the way I said the word the, and so I'm gonna sing the 48 times until I find the perfect the. They talk about doing this on Bad Guy, where they comped duh like 50 times. She just said duh, duh like 50 times until they found the perfect duh to like, splice in there. You don't have to do that, right? Like it really just depends on the song, the artist, the style, and what you're trying to get out of that comp. You just need to be intentional with what you're doing. But yeah, Eilish is an example of someone who comps to all hell. Like they're comping quite a bit. They're really, really locked in. I'm a drummer and play some rhythm guitar lately. I had to resort to AI when I lost I'm sorry to hear that, Jonathan. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, let me get back into the song here so we can move on. Like even here, right there, I want to hear like I want to hear like the third harmony over there too. It's high, but that's a classic to this genre too. Like tight doubles of the lead, like a really, really tight doubles to the lead. Third note harmonies on the outside, even if they're falsetto or even a lower octave, it could it can still give you some of that texture. Going into this here, I'll do the lower octave. Okay, I gotta hear that. So you can still do the third note here. Whatever, like where like your melody structure is right there, right? Like having just the low octave, or of course, if you have the you or the other vocalist have the higher octave in you, it can be beneficial. But having that like third note harmony is, to me, is like vital for the energy of this genre. It makes it feel so dynamic and so incredibly vibrant to listen to. So little things like that. And then again, these portions right here, especially if you drop to D sharp, is it Burnham? Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. If you do drop D sharp, right, in this case, to match that melody right there and just have everything open over the D sharp, you just drop your tuning semitone, drop the tuning in semitone. You can still be pretty heavy here. Bum, 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 bum. Low chugs, open hi-hat on the drums, open hi-hat, make everything really, really dynamic. And you can really, really punch through there. So you can still have some of these heavier moments. I would just keep the verses really light. I'm getting my own setup and getting Logic this week. Beautiful. Logic is great for comp. That is what Phineas uses to comp. Logic is, if I wasn't using I use Pro Tools. If I wasn't using Pro Tools to mix, I'd probably use Studio One or Logic to mix. And I'd probably use Ableton for production. But it's Logic's, if you do everything yourself, like you're doing a lot of your own production, your own tracking and vocal comping, I think Logic is great, especially for the price. I just said blasphemy. Yeah, I've used Pro Tools for like 18 years, so I'm not moving anywhere, but I do kind of want to get, like, there's some limitations that for production that Pro Tools kind of bothers me, just like sample manipulation. Manipulation is kind of frustrating. I have FL Studio Pro and Premium or whatever too. I don't know. I kind of just don't like using it. It's kind of, there's some aspects of it that are really frustrating to me. But I really like using Ableton. I used to have it years ago. Okay. Ableton Max or Live people built their own vocal tracking units in the software. Yeah, it's cool for like live looping stuff too. Like obviously I have a bunch of synths in here, and so I like doing a lot of like live stuff just for content, where I just kind of like let a synth go and do it, and then live loop it and overdub it and stuff like that. Ableton would be great for that. So there are some limitations, but I mix and produce, for a living. So I do a lot of tracking, I do a lot of mixing, and so that to me, Pro Tools is great for stuff like that. That's not the strong suit of Ableton or FL, and so I'm locked into Pro Tools for now. Just got used it for so long. I'm familiar with the interface. I've messed with it for, at this point, 19 years, I guess. Familiarity is over everything, right? Because just switching to switch because something's like better or has a better interface, and then you're unfamiliar and can't be as efficient, isn't really beneficial. Benjamin, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. I got an old Digital Design Firewire control. Ooh, let's go like old C24. Don't run out of, no, I got you. We're moving.
I'm screaming your name through rain, and I wanted you, I always did, but I still reach for you whenever.
And same thing with the interludes here too. We just need some filler, right? Like, this dun 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 dun. Like we need some like open, like open string tension from like the lead guitars in there, right? As opposed to it just being really, really open. Dun, 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 dun. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. It's just very open, right? And there's no movement, there's no counter melodies, right? It has some power to it. Again, this is gonna be tracked so much better, but give it, like just give it some texture, give it some energy. To kind of really punch through right there. Okay. If anybody wants to submit, we're going to be closing up the line here in not too long. So if you want to submit, you can. Just check the line over on the Red app first and go to my profile, click on the link. You'll see all the details right there. I feel that too, Hydra. I feel that too.
This song I sing, I'm still learning how to stay.
Like even there, like that needs to be stacked. It needs to be doubled, or we need to have some introductory energy right there to kind of keep everything high. And again, there's just a lot of this production that you need to rework since it's all not what you're going to have in the first place. So I think it's really just comes down to compartmentalizing, like what do you want to be heavy? What do you want to be lighter? And for me, it's heavy hooks, it's a light verses, and creating a lot of dynamic range and a lot of contrast that way. But the potential's all there. The potential's all there, man. It has to be, Hydra said there has to be a drum fill right there. Like right here, I'm just waiting for at least you know what I mean? I'm waiting for at least just something like that. Open this up here. Lead clean.
I'm still learning how to stay.
And then again, make sure you're recording with a click track. Make sure that you're recording in time right there because your vocal comes in early, maybe some latency compensation there. Vocal comes in early, so the gap between the drums hitting again is like 5 to 10 milliseconds too long. So you get this kind of uncertainty where the vocal comes in and then you're kind of jumping to catch up with the beat for a second right after that. So just try to keep that back in the line. Once you get into Logic or whatever you're doing, try to get that back in the line so it feels consistent. Eversnow is in the building. Eversnow, I hope you're doing all right. I appreciate you tapping in, and thank you for the heart me. I appreciate that a lot. It's good to see you. Try to get that lined up to where that feels really, again, certain and confident, so that when that vocal, because it's a great lead vocal, man. You get a powerhouse lead vocal, like, and the people that y'all are working with have really, really great structure to their lead vocals. And I want the confidence of the performance of it to match how it hits with the production as well. That to me, I think is some of the main stuff that you can dive in. Hydra says hello from the Purple app as well. Absolutely, Zerm, 100%. Hey, thank you so much, Jonathan. I appreciate you a lot. Star and Helios Live. Okay, beautiful. Y'all, please show some love to Westfall. That's the family right there. Show some love and support. Love and appreciate what you do. You're amazing at what you do. So right now, it's just time to lay down some foundation tracks. Don't be afraid of the scratch tracks. I would just get this out of here. Like get what you have right here out of here. Get it out of the way. Shipwreck, welcome in. Get it out of here so where it doesn't feel like you're going up against original ideas. That's some of the issues with what you're doing here. Is like you're just kind of running against the original ideas. And so I would just like get that out of here, like get that out of the way, get some of the fog out of the way here, and just to start to track some scratch tracks with the guitar and be like, at least you can hear the guitar and be like, okay, that's too dark, let's go lighter. That's too heavy, let's go a little bit more muted here. Let's clean up the verse here, but start tracking your own stuff just to actually get it there, right? Just to get your ideas into the DAW so that you feel like you have a little bit more to work with. Benjamin, we don't listen to popular artists here unless it's someone you're directly connected to. So we've had some people send people that have like, 1 million monthly listeners, 2 million monthly listeners, but they're like the managers for those artists that are representing them and trying to get them some exposure or get them, some tools and some tips and stuff like that for people that are self-producing, self-engineering and stuff like that. So don't submit or you won't send in for someone who's just like popular, like, because people are paying for consultations as a service. These are like, as y'all can tell, we spent like 40 minutes on this track. These are really, really long form. So I want to make sure that it's as valuable as possible for every single person that comes in. And for most people, if you just like send in a Sexy Red song or something like that, it wouldn't be that beneficial for anyone that's coming in. So all right, it wouldn't benefit them. But yeah, these are long form breakdowns, 30-minute consultations. We listen to the track multiple times to get into the nuances, details of the structure, mix, production, sound design, and lyric formatting, stuff like that. So if anybody wants to submit, you can go to my profile, click on the link. I'm going to be closing up the line here pretty soon because I already have a stack. Of people in here. So I'm going to be trying to move at a good pace, even though I will always take forever. Give me a second, though. Here's the problem can I tell y'all the problem with Texas? I got you. I've got you in one. You have her. The second you haven't. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you a lot. Do we have a like number for a giveaway? Maybe like, I don't have a ton of time. Let me tell you one. There's many problems with Texas, but let me tell you one. The problem is that it's like randomly 83 degrees and I'm dripping sweat in here. This is ridiculous. So I need to turn on the AC in the middle of February. Because I am sweating like nobody's business in here. This is crazy. Welcome from Tennessee, Jonathan. Good to see you, man. I'm working with an amazing producer, Blake, out of Tennessee right now. He's in Nashville. He's super, super talented, accredited engineer and producer. He's amazing. Anyways, he's out of Nashville right now. And I'm working with him and another artist on building out their album right now, one of their first albums. Trying to get a master finished. I got you, Hydra. Let's go. I've been to Nashville a couple times. It's cool. It's a cool city. I don't know if I would ever want to live there, but it's a cool city. All right, I got to turn on the AC. Give me a second, y'all. It's great. Yeah, it is 82 degrees in here. This is nuts. Give me a moment, y'all. Crazy. I know, Jonathan. It's everything, man. I got yeah, for free. You get them for free, Joseph. For today only. Yeah, it's also analog gear. So I have like some preamps and a compressor and whatever, like stuff over here. Nothing crazy. But some analog gear that I used to track in, and that's all hot too, especially like tube stuff. I have a tube preamp and compressor, and that's like it's super hot. Like you can feel heat coming off of it. And then 2 laptops, cameras, screens. I mean, the lights in here are ridiculous. It's nuts. Okay, y'all. Shout out to Westfall one more time. Let's keep it going. Let's see. It's so catchy. Let's see. We got Hydra in the building. Hydra, we're going to go back to back. So let's see what we got here. Let's get it downloaded. Winhand. I do not know Winhand. Talk to me. And I think I missed some comments. So give me a second. Aldo, welcome in. To proper appreciate you tapping into the stream. Yeah, the computers are hot. The gear is hot. It's wild in here. The synths, everything. It all gives off heat in here. But it's also just crazy. That it's so hot here. It's ridiculous. I hate it so much. Let me see. Helios wanted to submit a track he was finishing up to show Hydra. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, we're here for a little bit. I probably can only take like another. You talk about DBX XL 266. Is that what you're talking about? Not DBC, DBX. I'm assuming that's what would make sense to me. Yeah, I got room for a few. I got room for like a handful. Nothing too crazy because I'm going to move through some back-to-backs here, Snow. So if you want to, line should be current. Let me just see where it's at. So 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I do need to update mins over here. So if y'all do want to submit, anybody wants to submit, just please check the line over on the purple or red app. The minimums are updated just because it's changing over the course of the live as well. First one I submitted is finished. I will release this version unless you say something. Got you. Something, but will make you happy when you hear. Okay, beautiful. I like old grade. I have a great pedal for guitar. I love it, dude. A second one is the main reason for submitting. Okay, first one we'll run through fairly quick. Then it looks like. Did you send it to the email? Let me see. And then, oh, he sold it off on the track for Hydra. I think he wants feedback on. Okay, cool. Yeah, whatever y'all want to do. Of course. Why am I not seeing? I see Bennett. I'm not seeing your track. Double check that it went to Track Talk submission. Really quick. No. The recent one. Track Talk submission at Gmail. That's the one from like 9 months ago. You sing no microphone and automatically turns into percussion or melody. Oh yeah, fun. Got it. All right, so this is the second ones to follow. Let's get into it. All right, this is Hydra. This one should be finished. It should be finished unless there's something messy in it, which I doubt there is. This one should be finished, so we should move through this one fairly quick. We're just going to affirm that it's amazing, as I expect it is, and then we'll move into the second one here in just a second, which is the one that needs a little. I think he said some master. He's messaged me before. Some mastering work, I think, is what we're focusing on here. But let's get into it, man. This is Hydra. Hydra's over on the purple app. So if y'all want to see the full stream, you can go to the red or purple app. You'll see all the details right there. That's where you can also check the line order and minimums. They're always up on the screen. Let's get into it. Let's run it from the top. Let's dive into some details. This is Another Life by Hydra. Hydra, have I heard this song before? I know sometimes I hear some of your songs multiple iterations as we get into it. The red app or purple app. I'm discreet over here on TikTok. If you go to my link or use your imagination, the red app is YT, where you can watch videos and stuff like that. But that's where you can see the full live stream and all that good stuff. It's also just, side note, way better audio over there. All right. But this is different. Okay, cool. Got you. Oh yeah, man. It's time for Hydra. I've never used it. Some of this percussion feels different though already. What's up, Nick? Good to see you, man. In another life. It's going great. It's so much better, Hydra. So much better. When time flies by, I share my tears. This is a new vocal too. I haven't heard this vocal. My heart is aching. B flat minor, right? I promised myself I wouldn't break it. Jason, welcome in. This time we can play around. That's nice, man. Don't let me fight it all out. Hey. It's a wicked game. Still we play it. Okay. Still we play it. It's a wicked game. Still we play it. Come on, Hydra. Still we play it. Love the texture and character, man. Absolutely, Matt. Or Matt, yeah, definitely.
In another life.
EDOs. Yeah, I love the crunch, the texture, the character. Great saturation on that lead synth. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Go to my profile, click on the link, but just go over to the Red app, YT. That way you can check the line order minimum just because we're towards the end here already. Just so you can make sure that that's clear. But yeah, go to my profile, click on the link. All the details are right there.
In another life.
Beautiful, very warm.
In another life. In another life. I guess the days combine.
I love this vocal.
Carry on. There's more on the other side.
It's crunchy.
My heart is aching.
It's crunchy. I love it. Parker, welcome in.
I promised myself I'm breaking.
Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Pause.
Just look at me don't let me find it out. It's a wicked game.
Hey, let's go.
Still we play it. Still we play it. Love is a wicked game.
Come on.
Still we play it. Still we
Yeah. Let's go, Hydra. Thank you for the follow, Marco. I appreciate it. This is nice, man. This is nice. Spacing.
don't let me find it again.
Yeah. It's called Another Life by Hydra. It's unreleased at this point. Unreleased at this point. Hopefully soon. Love the portamento bends there. Beautiful. Exclusive. Exclusive, exclusive. What's up, Millie? Welcome in. I've been live for just over an hour. Just over an hour so far. Short live today. Or do you mean like over time? We've been doing these consultations for about 3 years in this format. Dropping soon enough. Finally decided to release it. I love it. I love it, Hydra. Love the life. Percussion's really, really clean. Really, really sharp. Really clean. Yeah, this is beautiful, man. It's really, really well done. King Cool, welcome in. Thank y'all so much for tapping into the stream today. I really appreciate it. Yeah, there's a long queue. Anyone can move around the queue at any point. So if anybody wants to check the line, just go to the Red app, YT. Go to the Red app. You can see the line to order the minimums and stuff over there. I update the minimums over time so that you can make sure that you're submitting where you'll be heard. But if you want to see the structure of the live, just go to my profile, click on the link, all the details to submit right there. Marco, I listen to everything all the way across the board. I work on a ton of different stuff too. It's all over. Hydra, this is nice, man. This is really, really nice track. I want to listen for something really quick. I think largely this feels ready to go. It's incredibly dynamic. It's noisy where it needs to be, but also really dynamic and really full. There's one little thing I want to hear on the vocal, but besides that, I think it's beautiful. And even that one thing, I don't even know if you need to change. I just want to tune my ear towards it really quick. Let's go, Carter. Thank you so much for tapping in. I appreciate you being here. Welcome in. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Y'all show some love. That's Sounds by Hydra. James Silva, welcome in. Chris, I appreciate you being here. Welcome in, Chris. Show some love to Sounds by Hydra. Let me just dig into this early section here. I want to listen for something in the vocal. This is beautifully, beautifully done, man. You should be ready to go. Should have done this one last. The next one honestly has just been the bane of my existence. It'll be sick when it's finished, but I honestly can't finish it. I feel that, man. I feel that so much. Phoenix, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. All right, let's run it from the top really quick. I just want to hear this one. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on. We're going to jump straight to your other one. But just really quickly, we'll dive into this. And once again, y'all, really, really quick, we only have a couple more songs. So if anybody does want to submit, you still can. I would encourage you to check the line on the red or purple app, YT or T, use your imagination. You can check the line order minimum over there. If you would like to submit, once you've seen that, go to my profile, click on the link, and just read through and follow all of the details there, and we can get you up on the board. We have a pretty full line, so if you want to move, you can. But you can move yourself forward to make sure that you're heard today. But we're going to be closing things up here in just a little bit. Are the 10 sent through MoveCons? No, go to my profile. You can do through gifts, but if you do gifts, you have to double it because TikTok takes 60% of the gifts. So that's the unfortunate side is you can, if you feel like it, you can do gifts. But like a Galaxy costs you like $11 and I get like 4. So it's if you do gifts, you just have to send a lot more of the gift for it to be able to apply. If you go to, so I have to be discreet with what I call the other apps because TikTok doesn't like it. So Millie, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. So it's the red app, YT, where you watch videos. Use your imagination. Where you watch videos, initials YT. That's where you can see. I'm live on 2 other platforms as well, so y'all can check it out over there. Right now the minimum is not 10 though. That's why I want y'all to check the line first because it's far over that just because we're getting towards the end and we had a bunch of people come in. All right, Hydra, let's dive into this just really, really briefly, and then we'll dig into your next one. I appreciate the follow so much. Thank you so much for tapping in. All right, let me get into this real quick. Well, I won't spend too long on this one, Hydra. I want to dig into. I know the other one's a priority. Most of your production sounds absolutely gorgeous too. I mainly want to talk through vocal structure, if even that. I'm just gonna listen for it. Lane Music's in a bit. What's up, Lane Music? Lane, thank you so much for tapping in. I appreciate you being here. What's the story on this vocal? Just really briefly, Hydra. Where'd you get this vocal? Zoa's in the building. What's up, Zoa? Welcome in. Check in when you can. Still interested. Okay, got you. I got you, Lane. I appreciate you tapping in, man. Good to see you in here. 100%. I got you. I get it. It's probably in requests. Sometimes it takes me like I get so many random messages all the time from so many people. Sometimes the requests take me a little. So if it went to requests, I probably just need to double check that other folder over there. So I'm sorry if I missed something. I'll check that after the live, man. I appreciate your patience. Dan, thanks for topping in as well. Or topping in. What am I talking about? Jesus. Tapping in, hopping in, whatever you're doing, topping in. Thanks for being here. All right, let's get into it. All right, let's I just said I'm too popular. The requests get me. I doubt he read my I doubt he read my messages if not donating. I don't care. No, I don't care if you donate. There's no donate. I know what you're talking about. They're talking about doing sessions. They're talking about doing sessions, hiring a service. All right, let's get into it. Let's run this back a little bit. Yeah, I don't know exactly what you mean. How many people are in the list? I'm so sorry, I can't tell. There's probably like 12, 15 or so. A1 Enzo, welcome in. Yeah, it scrolls down from there, but there's a good chunk on the list right there. But I only have time for like 2 or 3. So like it says right here. I'm pointing with my mouse, but you can't see the mouse. This right right here. So there's 3 songs left. Derek has 2, and then there's blue right there. So that's why the minimums are different. The minimums are different just because I don't want someone to submit and they submit down to the bottom of the 15 and I have 2 tracks left and I know I'm not going to hear them. I don't like to do that. So I try to adjust it as we go so it's as consistent and as fair as possible. Millie, typically I go live every day. It really, welcome back, Jenna. It really just depends on my sessions and stuff like that. It really just does. So I haven't been live. Just World, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. I haven't been live in like a week and a half. This is my first live in like a week and a half, just because the whole last week, I had a huge influx of projects. And so I was just slammed the whole week, doing session work, and doing production structure and stuff like that. So this whole last week, I have been knocked out. So I try to go live like every day, at least for like today, I'm going live for like 2 hours, just to do a little bit. Miranda, thank you so much for the heart me. SAS buddies in the building. Cigarettes with an S. I've been a busy, Hydra said I've been a busy bee. It's been crazy. So I'm all over the place. But anyways, side note. Love those mics. This is one of my favorite mics. And it's very underrated. People don't talk about this mic a whole lot. I don't know why it like slips past people. It's one of my favorites. It's such a great mic. Millie, thank you for the heart me. I appreciate that a lot. But yeah, I try to go live nearly every day. But it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. I would say, in a normal week, I'm probably live 4 or 5 days a week for at least like 2 hours. If I have a lot of extra time, or I like finish a mix earlier in the day, or I've like sent off a revision to a client and I have some time, I might hop on for like 4 or 5 hours, but really just depends on my project load. Last week, in a week and a half, 2 weeks or whatever, it's been a pretty crazy project load. So I do these live streams in between all of my other work. It's not a primary thing. So I just kind of do it as I can. Thank you so much, Miranda. You as well. It's incredible. George Michael used it on some of his tracks. Yeah, this is an M147. You're probably talking about the U47. I wish I had a U47. Those are like $30,000. This is like $3,700, $3,800 or something like. It's still a very expensive mic, but and it is still a tube microphone, but it's not the 40. It's not the U47. It's the M147. 147 hybrid tube microphone from Neumann, which I love. What are those headphones? These are Focal Clear MGs. Focal Clear MGs. Best sounding headphones you can buy. They're so good. Okay, Hydra, let's get into this vocal here real quick. We're moving and grooving. And then let me know. I know I have another track from Hydra really quick, but let me know if Derek, you're kind of in the vicinity, if you're kind of in the shadows right now. Let me know. He might be eating right now. He might be in the shadows. Okay, let me tell you the only thing, and I want you to feel free, and then I'm going to jump straight into your other track. And I'm going to run it back for a second. You let me know what you think, Hydra. This is not, to me, a critique, right? This is such a beautifully structured song. Your production is dynamic. It's powerful. It's crunchy. It's got character. You just look at the waveform, and it's got incredible dynamic range. These vocals are really, really cool too. The way that you bring them in, the way that you automate, beautiful. You have so many things that are going for you. That's amazing. It's amazing. It's very, very well done. You let me know what you think about this. Just really quick. The only thing that I'm questioning, it doesn't mean you need to fix it. It doesn't mean it's a critique at all. My ear is just hearing it, and I'm curious what if it connects with you at all. The only thing, David, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. The only thing that I'm listening for is the mono processing on the lead vocal. That's like the only thing that's kind of like standing out to me very, very lightly, is you have this beautiful space, this beautiful open space with a lot of great energy and vibrancy. Your stereo image is very broad. You get all this openness from your production structure. Maurice, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. You get all of this beautiful openness. And then the vocal, all of its reverbs are in mono. All of its like reverbs and delays are in mono. And to me, it shrinks it down a little bit. And once again, that's not even necessarily a critique if it's intentional, and it's exactly that's where you want to place that pocket of the vocal. Amelia, thank you for the follow as well. I really appreciate that. If that's where you want to sit the pocket of the vocal, I think that's perfectly fine. So it's less, I wanted it mono to start and then to open in the build as the second verse starts, it goes so wide. Okay, let me listen for that. Let me listen for that really quick. because this is what I was hearing here.
Where time flies by.
Right in here is where it feels like it's a little bit in a hole, which again could be intentional. It's not necessarily a negative attribution or attribute. I just think that's why I said, like, you tell me what you're feeling about this. It's not wrong, but it does feel a little hollow to me compared to how much like modern, bright, crunchy energy there is in the structure of the rest of the production. Hey, thank you so much, Joseph. I appreciate you, man. And then Joseph, I finally have been working on, because unfortunately, Joseph, I had to line up I don't know what happened with those files. They disappeared on me, and I finally got your new ones in there, the ones that you just sent. I got those all placed back in the DAW. But I have to realign all of them with the original samples that I had. So I'm still trying to figure that out now. I basically had to reset it, unfortunately, which is really, really annoying. Anyways, I should have an update for you very soon. I know that quick little update's taken longer than I wanted it to, just because it was one quick little thing, just re-getting those files back in there. But I should have that very, very soon. Very, very, if not like tomorrow or the day after or something like that, so I can just reline everything back up, make sure that they're processed again, because all of the audio files left. I don't know what that was. But I appreciate, thank you for all the help, Joseph. I appreciate you a lot. All right, let me hear. If you go to the bit, she finishes in another life.
Still we play.
Yeah, I got you. It should, once I get this, at least I can get kind of where you're at. You can get a sense of like, okay, I like the direction this is going. We can pivot or not and stuff like that. But you should be in a pretty good playlist now. Thank you for the roses. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you for the love. We should be able to move it at a better pace, at least like establishing the main structure of it. It's still so hot in here, man. It's crazy. Oh yeah. In another life. That little part right there, right?
In another life.
So there's in mono.
In another life.
Okay, let me open up a little bit here.
I'll kiss the days come by, and I'll carry on.
So you're automating. It goes wide. Okay, so you're automating your like vocal locks right there, like automating the openness. Young Jai, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. You're automating like your panning structure, your stereo image for your reverb there.
There's more on the other side. My heart is aching.
I see. Yeah. That makes sense. And it obviously gets crazy, busy and noisy and vibrant here, which is great. I love it. Reverb has a utility for from mid to full. Okay, I got you. So that makes sense. Okay, so this obviously gets nuts here in a second, right? This opens up dramatically. It feels incredibly, incredibly dynamic and vibrant here. Outcast, good to see you in here. I appreciate you tapping in for a minute. So yeah, I'm dissecting here. Thank you for the heart me, Outcast. Appreciate you.
Where time flies by, I share my tears. Every night, my heart is aching.
Can you ask Justin to unlock you? Oh, what do you mean, Jenna? Outcast, I appreciate you a lot. Thanks for tapping in. I appreciate the love. Can you ask Justin? Who's Justin? Who is Justin? I don't know who Justin is. And I don't know who blocked you. What's up, DTSK? What's up, dude? Yeah, yeah, I don't know who that is. This bit where I thought was like her almost whispering in your ear. Yeah. So, okay, this is why. Who's that? Yeah, I don't know who that is. Thank you for the heart me, DTSK. I appreciate you. I'm not sure who that is, Jenna.
Share my tears.
So here's my, again, and Hydra, you know me, you know how this goes, right? So if you feel good, run with it. I hate telling people stuff at the end of a track, right? When you're like, hey, I'm like done. And then I'm like, what about this? I hate it. I'm more annoyed than you are. So just feel free to literally ignore everything that I'm saying and move on and send it to distribution. Run with it. Here's my perspective. Because of where that reverb, it's like it closes up that reverb and to me shoots the vocal back. You know what I mean? Just because there's so much space. There's so much like distance because of that. It's a pretty prominent reverb in mono. And so to me, it almost like it's the opposite a little bit where it doesn't Yeah, exactly. I know it's an easy fix, but I'm also just like, you're done, so just finish it, whatever. So feel free to ignore and just get it out there. No one in the world is going to care about this except for me. So what I'm like listening for is like, to me, kind of does the opposite of, I think, what you're telling me your intention is, of it being like a whisper in your ear, because it's not coming at you from the ear side, from your side profile. It's coming at you right on the nose, right down the middle, like front vision. And so you don't get that like surrounded, like in your ear, 8D feel, where it feels like really, really intimate, and like you get that space in it. So that's my perspective on it. Feel free to, I'm going to make it like 75% mono. So I've got 20. Exactly. Give it a little bit of movement, get a little bit of openness. So you have like 25 to each side. So you have a 50% spread in the middle of the mix and stereo information from your ambiance, and then open up from there to 100 or 75 or whatever you have automating in your B section there, to create all the openness and the movement and vibrancy and stuff there that you want to. That would be like my suggestion, because the only thing that I'm like listening for is it feels a little hollow and much less intimate than what you're talking about. You don't really get the space or the intimate, vulnerable whisper in your ear vocal, because it's mono and then pushback. So that to me, what's up, Mark Hugh? Welcome in, man. I think I saw you send a message earlier today, right? I got to get back to that after the live as well, man. I appreciate you tapping in. Welcome into the stream. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm listening for. If you can make a small adjustment there, then close the door on it, lock it up, and move on. Okay, let's go track number 2 here real quick. Really, really quick, and then we'll get into it. And y'all, we're getting into our last couple tracks here. Sorry, I can't read the names from here. Arn, thank you so, or is it Arnie? Thank you so much for tapping in. I appreciate you being here. I got time for just a handful more songs. I've got probably 2 or 3 songs left in me here. There's not a lot of time. Please make sure. I'm looking embarrassed. Don't be crazy, Hydra. Your worst tracks are like phenomenal. Your worst tracks are phenomenal. Okay, let me double check. Let me see if something's not showing up. In another life. Do 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 do. I haven't heard it yet. Okay, but I already know Hydra's always like, what's up, Joe? Welcome in, man. Hydra's always like, this one's gonna suck, and it's always like beautiful. It's always like so crazy. Okay, let me get this open really quick. Okay. Captain Matt, I think I just saw yours come in. I try to recommend, I think I have this in the list too, or in the form as well. I recommend that people check the line first, just because when I get towards the end of the live, I have to keep updating what the minimums are and how many songs that I have left, so that people don't submit and it's too low, and then I have no guarantee that I'll be able to hear them tonight. I only have like 2 songs left, or 3 after this. Yeah, after the next batch of songs, we have a back-to-back after this. I have like time for 1 more after that. So the minimum is updated. So if you do want to submit, just make sure you check the line on the Red app, YT. Just double check the line over there. That way you can see the line, the order, and the minimum. You can see everything that's going on there. And then let me know if you want me to hold it for tomorrow, Matt, or if you want to go ahead and get yourself up on the board. No pressure either way. I got you either way. I've got a detailed list of everyone's credit. If you want to hang on to it for a day and get back onto a fresh board, we can 100% do that. We can 100% do that. Or if you want to get yourself up tonight, you definitely can as well. No worries either way. Okay, let's get into Hydra's next track here. The thing is absolutely not working is the main drop my ears, which haven't been reliable. A little bit of fatigue, probably. A little bit of fatigue. Which haven't been reliable. Are telling me it's eating into limiter because of maxima. Yeah, you're crushing, feeding into it a little bit too hot is probably what you're saying. Oh, I remember you telling me. I don't know him though. I have no idea who it is. Is it Oral X? Am I saying that correctly? Thank you so much for the roses. I appreciate that a lot. If you want to get heard tonight, it would be, I think, a minimum of 20. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 20 minimum so far. Currently speaking, that changes over time, but just that's how many people we have left. That's what would make sure at this current point. And then again, that changes as people come in trying to skip and stuff like that. But I got time for 3 songs left, max. Right now, and I know I have a back-to-back at the top right now after this, so that's just one extra movement right there. But the song is finally finished with the sound design and arrangement and mixed to an extent. Okay, so we're just gonna, I guess, largely kind of testing master levels and master dynamic, range and what's being squashed, what feels open. Got you, Matt. Okay, let me double check. Let me get you up there, man. I appreciate you so much, Captain Matt. I appreciate it. Do. Got you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Let me get you up there. Let me get the line updated really quick, and then I'll probably close the line now. So I can keep it really consistent. Let's do it. Captain. Do. Boom. Okay, I got you. I got you. All right, y'all. Line is closed. Line is closed. So I'm going to go ahead and update it over here. Okay, got you, or Alexa. I got you. I'm going to close the line and get these updated. Yeah, I got you. I always do my best to not mention it if it's a name that, doesn't seem familiar. So let me get everything updated, and then I'm going to get into Hydra's track because I don't want to waste too much time. That is got you. Am I saying it correctly, or Alexa? And so yeah, just keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes out on the list. And then Derek, since you have Aurelia, am I saying that correctly? Just please correct me as many times as I need to. Okay, and then Derek, since you have a back-to-back, I should still get you as a third right there. So line is closed. Y'all can move around the line, but there's no more submissions. I'm going to close it over here really quick. So looks like it's going to be Captain Matt, Aurelia, and Derek. And then Derek, since you have the back-to-back, we'll fit that in there. So let me get this updated, and then Hydra we'll get yours moving. Boom, boom, boom. In another life. It's a really catchy song. Okay. Line should be current. It should be ready to go. So line is closed currently. We're going to it's Captain Matt, Aurelia, and then the back-to-back. Currently speaking. K9, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you for that. Welcome in. Yeah, no more new songs. So we're going to play through these last. It'll technically be 4 songs, but one of them is 2 songs back to back. So no more songs tonight. We'll be live again tomorrow. So just make sure that y'all are following on, Red app, Purple app on TikTok over here. Make sure that you're following, make sure you're subscribed, etc. That way you can get notified the next time. Turn on the notification bell, all that fun stuff. Get notified when we go live. I'll be live tomorrow afternoon, most likely. I got some work I got to get done, some projects I got to send out, some revisions I got to send out in the morning, and then I'll go live for a couple hours in the afternoon. Okay, so right now it's Captain Matt, Aurelia, and Derek. Those are closing out the line right now. No new submissions. If you send in a submission right now, while it says closed here on both platforms, I'm going to save it for the next time. Yeah, just play it. No, I get it because I don't post too much information up on the board here. So if you want to read the format of the live stream, you definitely can. Go to my profile, click on the link. You can read through the details there, but the line is closed for today. All right, Hydra. It's time, Hydra. It's not letting me see this here. Master V4 is a low point for me. I don't think I've ever been responsible for 4 master attempts. Okay, let's get into it. I'm excited to hear it, man. Let's get into it. Throw back to the whiteboard. I know we need the whiteboard again. Okay, sounds good, Derek. I got you. You'll be in a minute. All right, let's listen. Let's listen, Hydra. Let's dive in. It's a long one too. It's like a full set. Is that a double snare? Or, I'm sorry, a double kick? Or is that a switch and sample? It's a nice weight. Love the space on the vocals. AJ, welcome in. Got you. You just open up the low cut right there. Yeah. And just give it some weight. Oh, I remember this vocal. This vocal's from another project, right? I remember this vocal for sure. Yeah. Oh wait, this is the same project. Yeah, okay, I see. I was like, I thought this was a one I hadn't heard before, and I was like, wait, this is sounding somewhat different, but also very familiar. And I was like, hold on, am I losing it? This is literally V20 of the song. That's making more sense. That's lining up. Doesn't make it a little bit more sense. I am Captain Matt. I am in Texas. Let's go. Let's go. Is it as hot for you as it is for us? We're in San Antonio, Matt. It's like 82 here. It's ridiculous. Just humid as hell. Yeah, Hydra, yeah. Shoot me a message, Captain Matt. That's what I do for a living. Always taking on new projects. Yeah, sure, 100%. He said, you might want to hear this first before agreeing to work. No, trust me, I've worked with like Grammy-winning musicians, and I've also worked with we'll just call them rough stuff. We've worked with some rough stuff. So I have a very broad spectrum of quality that I've worked with. It's a job, you know, like sometimes it's super creative and then sometimes it's just a lot of work. It's cold where you are, Jenna? Yeah, that makes sense. It's just hot here in Texas. Texas is annoying and brutal. Yeah, I remember. Right, Alex. Yeah, these vocals were given to him in really rough shape. Like he said, he's on the Purple app. He said literally there was a baby crying in the background. They like recorded into their phone, and he somehow took him to life, or brought him to life a little bit. I might just work out of my own production studio. That's just I built it out in the house that we're in right now. So I've got full drums in here, mics, a whole bunch of synths, guitars, bass, everything. But it's just a home studio, built out a home studio. I had a studio in Dallas for a little bit, about 2.5 years there. But yeah, it's just built out here. Yeah, definitely. San Antonio. You've been here before? Thank you for the follow. Oh, that's right. I see the waveform, Hydra. It looks nuts. Libby, that's my wife. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're doing good. some of like the artifacts. You do hear some of the overdrive and stuff like that.
Let's go on a spiritual journey.
Yo, show some love, show some love, show some love. That's the Family Hydra. We just heard another track, so we're gonna go straight into it, man. I'm gonna focus on this last, I'm gonna chop through a couple quick little things here, but I'll focus on this last section because the limiting, soft clipping and stuff like that is kind of our main, you know, kind of point of contention here and our main pain point in this record. So I wanna dig into that. Tarsu, thank you so much for tapping in today. The line is currently, oops, I'm backwards on my screen, right there. Line is currently closed today, but we're gonna open it back up again tomorrow. So definitely tap in, make sure y'all are following. We'll open up the lines again tomorrow afternoon. I'm Central Time, so look at around 2 or 3 p.m. We'll get on for about 3 or 4 hours after I'm done with my other projects for the day. And we'll listen to some amazing, amazing music. We'll open up the lines again. I appreciate y'all tapping in. Okay, I wanna hear some to make it a little gnarly, but it's def too much. So I think what I would prefer, Hydra, would be for you to just automate some of that within the tracks that you want it, not on the master. Because what's happening, thank you for the follow, Tarsu, I appreciate it. What's happening is you're just feeding into that limiter. You're crushing at -3.5, 4 dB on your limiter. You're clipping, you know, soft clipping pretty heavy. You can get the crunch. So everything just kind of, it devolves into overdrive at the top of the mix. It just devolves into harmonics at the top, and it just becomes, it becomes crunchy and brittle kind of at the top, like 4K of the mix. And so you lose all clarity and distinction. It just becomes noise and saturation. And so you lose a lot of your clarity by doing that. And so what I would probably do is just do that in the drum, like just feed your drum bus into a saturator and then automate how much it saturates into that point to introduce more harmonics. If you want those synths to crunch up a little bit, use decapitator and just feed in the high harmonics or something like that. Just feed the high harmonics and crunch it and crush it up, but leave the master clean. So at least you maintain clarity between the different elements that are saturated instead of having it affect the whole mix. That's what I would do. Because if you're crushing -4, -3, -4, that's, I mean, if I'm doing that, things just start to break apart, especially if it's like a brick wall. If it's a brick wall at the top, then it's just, everything just breaks apart. If I go past like 2, it starts to, depending on the track, of course, and depending on how I'm feeding it, it tends to just shatter at the top of the mix. So, in the bass, like everything just becomes really muddy and noisy. And that's definitely what I hear at the end here. So I would prefer for you to just like automate the actual texture and character of like your buses themselves, right? Like just, it's maximizer though. Yeah, it's slightly different to a limiter. Yeah, but you're still feeding heavy though. Yeah, the Ozo Max. Yeah, I have the Ozo Maximizer too. You're still feeding really heavy. Yeah, you're still feeding really heavy. So I feel like here's what you could probably do. You could probably back off your threshold, right? You could probably do 2 things in tandem. You still want the crunch. You still want the energy. Back off of what you're feeding into that by 2 dB, right? Like 2 dB or so. So you still get some, but you're maxing out at probably 1.5 dB to 2 dB. Let's see, where am I looking here? It doesn't give me all the chat here. It's really annoying. It doesn't let me, let me see. Give me a second here. There we go. That's a little bit better. Oh, it's not showing me all of the chat for whatever. Either way, it's not showing me all the chat for some reason. Back off of it by like 2 dB so that your max reduction is about 2 dB, right? So you're just not getting as much of the mud. You're not getting as much of the breakup right there. And then if you want more grit, more texture, more character, do that individually. That to me makes the most sense. Still feed it because it's still a great tool. Like what you're doing to inflate the mix works, right? You're doing the right thing. And even like soft clipping it and really just trying to shave it and push it and introduce some harmonics and stuff. It's working. Like it does feel really dynamic right there. And you can see in the waveform, it gets loud. It gets very, very loud. I'm sure your LUFs are pushing like crazy. You're probably at -6, 7, something like that. It's a really dynamic track. It's very, very loud, but the thing is the volume of the track though, dropping threshold and the track was too quiet. Any idea what is cooking it? Maybe kick. It might be kick. 6, 7, stop it. Stop it, damn it. All right, let's back it up. Let me back it up real quick. I'm gonna go to the first drop. These are only two things we really need to work on because the rest of the production, I agree, sounds clean. I've heard it many, many different times, especially with what you're working with. I'm not gonna dig into that vocal anymore. That vocal is what it's gonna be. So I'm not gonna dig into that anymore. We've heard it many, many different times. Like you said, you're on V20, so I think you're where you can be with that vocal in the context of it. So I'm gonna leave that as is. So that's what I want to get into. So I'm going to look at the kick because the kick does open up quite a bit. It's pretty big. Pause. It's pretty sharp. You're chaining a lot too, so it really stands on its own. What I would do in your own session is just mute the kick and see if you get more headroom. I mean, it's like the easiest, most like foolproof way to be like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was like, pause. Like if you're like, what's stealing my headroom, and then you choose some of what you perceive to be your biggest and loudest elements in the mix, mute it, and if all of a sudden you've got a bunch more headroom, then you know. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if you mute a sub bass and all of a sudden you gain 5 dB, you're like, oh, I'm just way inflating like 30 hertz for no reason, and you can rebalance it, right? So that's probably what I would do is just mute that kick, just deactivate the kick for a second, see if you don't regain a little bit of space, and if you do, just drop it like 3 dB, and you'll be fine. It's very prominent. I mean, it should be. It's electronic music. It should be. Exactly. So that's why I was saying, focus on perceived loudness, not decibel loudness, right? Not metered loudness. Focus on perceived loudness. Exactly. For the genre, it's supposed to be really loud and dynamic, but that's why I'm like, soft clip that, saturate that, compress that, get that under control so that it feels really prominent and really energetic. I use Pro Tools. Is it Gung? Yeah, I use Pro Tools. You like clip that and get that kick where it needs to be with a little bit more control. So it's not so transient. It's not so sharp. It's not stealing any of your headroom, and get it to feel like that kick is under control. It is compressed. It is shaved off. It is smoothed out a little bit. Maybe pull some of you maybe already have, but pull some of the far sub, like 30 hertz and below, get that out of there to see if that's not mudding anything up, right? Get that kick under control. That way, if it is stealing some headroom, you can still focus on perceived loudness. You can still saturate. You can still compress. You can still introduce some harmonics and soft clip it and get it forward and vibrant and heavy sounding while still potentially regaining 3 or 4 dB of headroom, which will help you feeding into the maximizer. Because it does sound big, but it does just sound very clean and very forward. So I think if there's anything I would revisit, I think that's probably your target. Most likely it's going to be kick and sub. Like I feel like 90% of the time, if I have something robbing me of headroom, something that's affecting the master, that's giving me some like nastiness and I can't control it, 9 times out of 10, it's a kick, sub bass, or snare. It's like rarely some like pad in the background that needs work. Like maybe I can carve some stuff and you know, low cut here and whatever. Like sometimes I can manipulate a couple things, like, you know, maybe, but like 9 times out of 10, it's kick, sub bass, or snare. And those are the things that are snapping through the mix. They're sharp, they're changed. So a lot of things clear space for it to cut through. And it ends up being the culprit 9 out of 10 times, which you know very well in this genre. I did a deep dive, 20 to 50 hertz, and that is clean, but kick is sitting at 60. Like it's a high pass at 60. Yeah, check the kick. I mean, if I had an intuition on what was doing it, that's the one thing that to me that's leaping out of the mix really dry. That's like the one thing that to me and it should, right? No, as in a root note of the kick peak is that, okay, I got you. I was like, well, hold on. I was like, your high pass is at 60? That's crazy. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, if there's one thing that just in my perception that is jumping out, it sounds good, but it's robbing you of tools, right? So I think the one thing you need to focus on to regain the tools again is how do you control that one element, right? How do you keep your perceived loudness while gaining decibels of headroom? So that if there's like, now you can kind of ignore everything else and hyper focus on that, right? Just now you don't have to look at 50 different things and wonder if it's like some random pad in the background or some other random synth that needs to be reworked or what's wrong with the vocals. Just hone in on the kick and any layering surrounding that. What I meant is I thought it was sub bass, so cleaned, but turns out I cleaned too low. Okay, I see. I see what you're saying. Yeah, and in the sub bass, like doesn't even seem like that energetic to me. It doesn't seem super prominent either. I would focus all of your attention on where that kick is sitting, how it's being perceived in the mix, and just give yourself a goal of I need to focus on the kick and I need the same perceived loudness with another 3 or 4 decibels of headroom. And then do what you need to do that. Clipping, saturation, compression, smooth it out, open it up, and I can almost assure you that you'll gain some room. It's very prominent. I'm gonna hear the second drop. Let me hear the second drop. To me, that's like the last thing, because you do crush up this last part of the song here, and it does make it sound pretty noisy, and not the most like there's noisy stuff in here that should be noisy, should be crazy and dynamic. In this case, not super beneficial. I think this sounds fine. It works. It's genre accurate. You know what I mean? Like I think it works. I just think you could shape it. You can mold it a little bit. You know what I mean? So that's what I would focus on. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. Like it is heavy and sharp and transient in a lot of the ways that you want it to be. Thank you for that. I'm new here, and thank you for the heart me. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, so like this part before the drop, to me, it's noisy and it's crazy, but it's supposed to be. So I don't really hear anything wrong with it. It's noisy and it's crazy and it's bright and it's shimmery and it's kind of chaotic. But to me, the way that I perceive it is that's how it's supposed to be. That's the intention of it. It's supposed to be crazy before you kind of unleash and just kind of open up this last breakdown right here. So I feel like it does the job of what it's supposed to do. Hey, we're closed for today. I appreciate you tapping in today. We're closed for today, but I'm going to be back live again tomorrow afternoon. Would love to hear any music that you'll have. We'll open up the lines again tomorrow. But yeah, we're closed up for today. Just got a handful of tracks left. Yep. It's got to be the kick. The kick is crazy. I know you can control that. I know it's really clean and it's really open. I know you can control that. It feels very dry. A little bit of harmonics, a little bit of shave at the top, a little bit of harmonics, with the same amount of punch and perceived loudness. I know you have room for it. I bet you that's it. I can almost assure you that's it. There's a lot of noise happening here, and if it's intentional, keep it there, because I want you to keep the same spirit of the song, right? So it is very like noisy right here. Sometimes it feels too much. Sometimes, especially in the high end, especially like 7K and above, 6K and above, it feels like too much sometimes. And there's some big, like super massive, like super saw stacks here. It feels a little crazy. And I do kind of wish that we can rein it in a little bit to still have some clarity to like the vocal and percussion structure, because I'm not really hearing any of the individual things. That I'm losing all distinction. I'm losing all distinction between all these different elements here. So I think those two things: reworking the kick, just polishing the format of the kick, and some of the processing of the kick to give you another couple dB of headroom, so you're not slamming maximizer, and you have a couple dB less reduction on that end, and then maybe just clarifying, just cleaning up and clarifying this last little section of synths right here, so it doesn't feel so noisy and bright and shimmery, but nothing too nasty to where I lose what's going on, if that makes sense. Does using an 8-out expander to add inputs lower audio quality and recording? No, it shouldn't. And if the conversion in your interface is fine, and like is decently clean, and if if it's not like the craziest, noisiest preamps in the world or something like that, then yeah, you should have any issues. I'm not running my synths they're all direct right now. I have I have like 14 synths in here right now, and I have them all running. I have a snake, a TRS snake that's running from the back batch of synths over here, straight into the back of my interface. But I do have 8-out expenders. I have expanders. I've had another one that's an Audient that I sold, an 8200 SP or something like that. I forget the exact name. And then I have a Behringer that I use to track drums sometimes. So I'll just run my snake straight into the 8-out interface so I can expand on my interface that I have. And it's clean. It's clean. Like nothing noticeable. That's what I have. That's what I have. That's the one that I run drums through. Nothing noticeable. It's not going to color it. It's just very transparent. So it's not going to, if you want like SSL coloring, like saturation and like stuff like that, it's not going to give you any of that. It's just a way for me to connect more inputs. It's just a way for me to attach more inputs. It's fine. It does the job. It just kind of depends on your skills and your ability to process. So if you find that the translation, someone sound dizzy. It's just these allergies. It's constant. It hits me at night. I've been fine most of the day, and then at night it's beating me up. You're good, Hydra. You're good. But yeah, I use that 8200, the Behringer. I think it's the 8200 or something like that, and that's what I track all my drums through. I've got a bunch of mics that I run straight through that interface. Yeah, it's brutal. It's these Texas allergies. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let me know what you're thinking, though. Let me me get the outro of the song here. I was just going to ask if you think clarity is due to the maximum pushing. I think it's a little bit of both, if I'm honest. I think it's a little bit of both. I think I'm hearing the breakup, right? I'm hearing the shattering of the signal, and just the crunch that's happening because of that, probably in addition to the clipping a little bit as well. So there's a lot of artifact. There's a lot of harmonics, right? So I think it's a little bit of that. And we're doing pretty good, man. I mean, life is crazy. Life is always a little bit crazy, but we're doing pretty good. I think it's a little bit of that. So let's say it's like 3%. If there's you have 5% to improve on the top of this mix, it's a great production structure. If there's 5% we need to work on, I think 3% of it is what's happening in the maximizer, and then another 2% is just clarifying. It's like a lot of reverb. It's like ultra vibrant. And so it feels very hyper reflective. And I'm losing what is the synth actually doing that's causing the reflection? If that makes sense. It's like if you're only hearing the reverb from a vocal, that's kind of what it sounds like. Where I'm only hearing reflection, I can't even hear what the synth itself is doing to create that reflection. And as someone who would like some level of clarity, I would prefer to probably hear a little bit more of the synth itself and what it's causing in the reflection. And you could probably do some of that with dialing back the wetness by 5%, as well as maybe even some small little EQ, some post EQ right there that you could do to clean up that just a little bit. But yeah, this is killer, man. Y'all show some love. I hope that was helpful, man. You're not far off, dude. I know you get stuck with masters like this. These masters can be just absolute hell to deal with, which I completely understand. Thank you so much, Dizzy. I appreciate you. They can be absolute hell to deal with. And so but I think you're right there. I think you're a couple little tweaks. Revisit the kick, redial in kind of your clarity and distinction in this outro. And I think you're pretty much good to go, man. You're pretty much good to go. You should get plenty of loudness, plenty of headroom. 3 workbooks on Ableton is insane, dude. Y'all show some love to the family. That sounds by Hydra. If you don't know Hydra, show some love and support. That's a member of the family right there. We love and adore you, man. You're so incredibly talented. So everybody please support him. Go stream his music. He's a phenomenal producer and composer. Very credited and really talented. So please show some love to the family. We love you, man. We're going to work this year. 2026 is the year that it happens. So we're going to make some fun stuff happen. All right, give me a second, y'all. I'm going to use the restroom, and then let me know if Captain Matt, let me know if you're in the building. I just want to make sure that you're still here in the chat. So I'm going to wait here for a second. We've got Captain Matt, Aurelia, and Derek in the building. Let's go, Hydra. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to use the restroom, y'all. So just give me a moment. I'm going to use the restroom, and then we will get back into the amazing music, and we'll close up these last couple tracks. So y'all keep tapping the screen, keep sharing out the live, and we're going to get into Captain Matt's track here in just a moment. So just give me a second. We're back. Beautifully, Captain Matt. Beautifully. All right, let's see. I'm trying to think of 4 season a bit. I'm not trying to think of, but if you my reason both. There you go. Okay, let's get into it. Let's try to get through these last couple tracks fairly quick, because it's later and I need to get into dinner and stuff like that. So okay. Let's see. All right. Captain Matt's in a bit. And Captain Matt, I've heard your stuff before, right? Let me open this up here. You don't think so? Oh man, let's go. The names seem familiar. Okay, let's dive in. Let's dive in. Let me open this up here real quick and get this file downloaded really briefly here. Let's go. Do. All right, Endless Summer downloaded. Okay, after my solo album reached number 15 on the iTunes country charts in 2025, I assembled the Boat Crew band to record my second album and go on tour in 2026. Beautiful. This is my home studio, or this is a home studio demo of our new sound that we are shopping to producers and engineers so we can all go to a professional studio and make magic. Let's go. This is Captain Matt music, and this is Endless Summer. So Boat Crew is the band, right? Boat Crew is the new band. And the song is called Endless Summer. Is that what's going on here? And then let me know, Captain Matt, let me know what you in particular do in this band as far as vocals, guitar, writing, early production, building, stuff like that. Give me some details. This is Endless Summer by what I'm assuming is Boat Crew. Let's get into it. I'm gonna try to move a little bit faster. Captain Matt and the Boat Crew. Okay, nice.
Roof's got a leak, sink's backed up, bills on the table just stacking up. Work keeps asking for me to stay, but I'm already gone in my mind today. Neighbors complain about the weeds in my yard.
I'm lead singer and ukulele with a beautiful.
News says storm's gonna roll on through, so I just mix a drink and change the view. I take a slow sip and let the world disappear. Lean back and sit in my
Hey, no problem. It's hard to do it all, man. It's hard to do it all.
Sails catch the breeze, the water so blue. Nothing but sunshine as I captain the view. The real world fades, I slip off in time to that endless summer in my mind.
And so you have you also manage a band. So there's a couple other musicians that are playing drums, stuff like that, right? Electric guitar.
A beachside hammock without a care, then the thunder rolls
right.
and the vision fades as I hear.
Did you take out the trash today?
Wife's on my case, got a list of my long. Says I never listen, says I get it all wrong, but I close my eyes and wouldn't you know, she's in a bikini with a drink in tow. I take a slow sip and let the world disappear. Lean back and set my course out of here. Sails catch the
playing
breeze,
fiddle.
the water so blue. Nothing but sunshine as I captain
6-piece,
the view.
uke, lead guitar, upright bass, fiddle, pedal steel, and drums. Beautiful. I love it. Classic.
Summer in my mind.
And let me know if there's anything in particular you would like me to hone in on or that you feel like is a pain point for what y'all are doing. And I'm happy to help in any way that I see fit. Otherwise, I'm just going to listen and see if there's anything I can offer.
No traffic, no deadlines, no bills to pay. Bartender smiling, pouring one more as the tide rolls in on a carefree shore. I take a slow sip and let the world disappear.
Nice breakdown.
Lean back and set my course out ahead. Sails catch the breeze, the water so blue. Nothing but sunshine as I captain the view. The real world fades, I slip off in time to that endless summer in my mind.
It's a good hook.
In my mind.
Got you.
Oh, in my mind. Oh, in my
Vocal production is one of my favorite things. I love vocal production. Y'all show some love. That's Endless Summer. Endless Summer by Captain Matt and the Boat Crew. Let's get straight into it. We're not going to waste any time. We're moving at a good pace today. I haven't been this whole time, but we're moving at starting now. My ADHD is on pause, and we're moving at a good pace. Let's get into it. This is Endless Summer by Captain Matt and the Boat Crew. Let's dive in. Yeah, let's. That to me is like, obviously this is a demo, so I don't want to hone too much in on the mix because this is not what the mix is, right? This is all I did was add reverb, compression, and EQ. Got you. And if you want some tips on how you can do even just that better, let me know, and I'm happy to help you with that. But at the end of the day, this is not the mix this is not what the mix is going to be. So there's not a lot of corrections to be made because it just needs to go through that process to an extent. Musicianship is great. I love the movement. I love the brushes on the drums. Guitar tone is fantastic. Beautiful. I got you. Excuse me. Guitar tone is fantastic. There's a lot of great lyric structure as well. There's a really, really broad dynamic range, which I think is fantastic as well. I love the clap breakdowns out as well. Nick Swartzen charging 10 to pop. What does that mean? What does that mean, Nick? Bearded Carnage in the building. Welcome in, Bearded Carnage. All right, let's run it from the top. Let's get into some of these details. And once again, if you want to point me towards anything specific, I'll probably focus on vocal structure and focus on vocal production because I think that's probably the biggest pain point. And then it's just finding an engineer that you trust, finding a producer that you trust, and a studio that works well with you. Excuse me. And making sure that they can take care of what you're talking about and like what your goal is for your music, and that they can hear it. Because a lot of people just kind of do what's in their wheelhouse. So they'll just do what they always do with everyone with your vocal. And I feel like it sounds good, Jenna. I feel like you can kind of break that down in a little way, or you can break that down a little bit and try to find someone who is going to really honor the vision that you have for. Excuse me, gosh, these allergies, man. The transparency of your vocal versus like the coloration of your vocal and stuff like that. Sweet spot is the low end of my vocal, 100%. Yeah, you've got a good voice, man. You've got a good voice. But let's dive into vocal production because the mix I don't need to touch too much because it needs to go through that process, right? So I can be like this frequency, whatever. But that's just all gonna just happen as it goes through the process. So let's focus on like structural things that are closer to the source, which to me is always more important. All right, let's run it. I mean, that guitar tone's beautiful. That's really nice.
Bruce got a leg.
There's some, hold on.
Bruce got a leg. Sinks.
There's some interesting gating that's happening in the background here. I'm going to run it from the top. I've been told that if Jimmy Buffett and Waylon Jennings had a love child, it would be Captain Matt. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. There's some gating right there. We're doing consultations. Is it Oscar? Thank you so much for tapping in. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, we're doing like, these are like, it tends to be longer than this, but about 30-minute consultations for artists, producers, engineers, songwriters, musicians, etc. So people send in their music. We spend about 30 minutes, sometimes more. We spend about 30 minutes breaking down the track, talking through mix structure, production elements, sound design choices, songwriting structure, stuff like that. And getting into kind of the nuances and details of that. We go through the song usually 2 or 3 different times to really break down those elements and hopefully offer them some specific and actionable feedback. Gate, okay, it's probably the gate on like maybe the pedal steel or the fiddle in the background. That's what's cutting in and out. That's probably a bit of what I'm hearing there too. I was like, wait, what's going on in the background there? Because there's definitely some signal cut right there.
Sing.
I would recommend, and again, you don't have to do this as this is just like a demo, but I would recommend, as opposed to gating oftentimes, for one, do what you can to mitigate noise. It's going to happen, right? Everything has noise, right? This mic has noise. It's a tube microphone. This mic has noise. My preamp has noise. If it's like a Stratocaster and it's a triple single coil, those are going to be noisy. Those are going to be super noisy. And so try to keep it directed to the signal itself. And I'll sometimes use an S1 instead of a gate because it does some pre-noise production before gating, and it works beautifully. So like I have it on my vocal right now. I'll show you really quick. So you can like my vocals, and TikTok has some weird noise sometimes. If you're on the other platforms, it's really clean. But like my vocal is like, it's really, really dry, and it's as a treated room, so that helps, or partially treated room, so that helps. But if I take this off, you hear that in the background. That's just my mic. That's just my preamp. That's just self noise, right? It's just the noise floor of the gear that I'm using. And this one is great for that. Like, and it's not gated. Like my vocal's not going to be like all choppy and cutting in and out, because it's actually targeting that signal. It's targeting that frequency a little bit cleaner, and pulling some of the noise back, and then gating in between. So if I like show the plugin, you'll see it cut noise, and then you'll see it gate if I stop talking. So it does a great job. It's like a $30 plugin, or if you have like the Waves bundle, it just comes with it. Yeah, makes sense. So everything has noise, like you said, if you're using like a Stratocaster or like a P90 or something like that, like those are gonna have a lot of noise. I have a Stratocaster here, super noisy. Single coils, you can open them up. I just haven't, but they can be very noisy. Some of those single coil pickups, and so you just got to deal with it sometimes and be strategic with your gating. But I try to target the frequency a little bit more precisely before that, so I'm not gating as much, right? So if I can pull some of that fuzz out of the mix lightly, I'm not gating this huge noise. So it's like, well, he plays a Strat. It makes sense. Anytime I put it like full, like either way, sometimes like here it is. Anytime like I put it like full bridge, if I go full bridge, it's noisy as hell. Second one's not that bad. Middle's not that bad. And then sometimes full neck is really bad too. But if I go full bridge, this bad boy right here is it's noisy as hell. And it drives me nuts, but sometimes you just got to deal with it. You've got to deal with it. And this one works pretty well. And a good gate will do a good job too. Kyle Grace, welcome in. A good gate will do a good job, but NS1 does a pretty fantastic job. So it's something I would look at. That way, pre-sending out demos, you have a little bit more noise control, but also, do what you can. Do what you can to alleviate some of that noise, even just through pick up toys. Like it might be that if he's backed off a little bit, he might go center pickup just to alleviate the noise, and then EQ back to more of a bridge feel or something like that. You know what I mean? Like you just got to fine tune exactly what you're doing. No, you're fine, Matt. You're fine. Here's what I'll say. And this is why I'm mentioning the pickup, right? Things like the pickup, things like mic choice, guitar choice, pickup choice, stuff like that, is because those are the source things that make the biggest difference. Because otherwise, even the best engineer in the world is going to have to obliterate the signal of your guitar to pull out all of that noise, right? So that's why like the source matters more than anything. How you track, what you choose to track with, right? That's why like I like having a lot of tools in here, and just like different toys and different tools that I can use, because it allows me to be like, hey, this song, like maybe if I really need to open up a lead on that Strat, I need to make sure that the mix can like make room for that, right? Grady, good to see you, Grady. Thanks for tapping in. I need to make sure that there's room for it, right? So I might open up a lead on the Strat in a rock mix, or a more grungy mix or something like that, but I better make sure the rest of the mix is really vibrant to cover up some of that buzz and noise and gate it properly then. But if it's a really dry, like this is clean, this is really dry, right? If I back this up here. Clean uke. It actually is like happening in the strings in the background a little bit too. Yeah, it's not happening on the guitar, strangely enough. It's not happening on the guitar because the guitar's on the neck, it sounds like. Are you tracking all at the same time? Is that what's going on? You tracking all at the same time? That's interesting. I'm trying to move at a good pace, but now I'm intrigued. That might be it. So you're dealing with some like bleed at the same time. You're trying to gate out the bleed. Okay. Yeah. And so in this case, the drums aren't in. So in this case, so this is just like practical demoing, right? The drums aren't in, cut it, right? So you just mute all of that. Just cut all of that dead space. Before the drums come in, they shouldn't even be on, right? Just slice all of that out of there so you don't get any of that in there. Otherwise, it's gonna mess with, yeah, you want to get it. That makes sense. It makes sense. That'll be easier to track live in a studio and stuff like that too. But if you're hearing the early gating and stuff like that in the background, you just need to cut all of that out. If that's happening in the drums, you're trying to cut some of the bleed between all of the different mics in the room, and you're micing a cab for, you know, an old like Fender DeVille or something like that, then you need to cut all of that out. So anything that's not active, cut the silence. That way you're not introducing any bleed until the elements are live. And when all of those elements are live, they will disguise some of those frequency issues. They'll disguise some of the bleed. They'll disguise some of the resonance and stuff like that. So if the drums are not active, then cut it all out in the beginning there, so you're not dealing with any of it. That'll help.
Roof's got a leak, sink's backed up, bills on the table just stacking up.
What are you using to track your vocal?
Work keeps asking for me to stay, but I'm already gone in my mind today. Neighbors complain about the weeds in my yard. Credit cards max, yeah, times are hard. New system's gonna roll on through, so I just mix a drink and change the view. I take a slow sip and let the world disappear. Lean back and sit in my cold side of here. Sails catch
Okay,
the
cool.
breeze, the water so blue. Nothing but sunshine as I captain the view. The real world fades.
Okay, so one of the staples of the NT1, which I've used actually plenty of times. I don't own one, but when I was working in studio, we had a bunch of the early 1As and stuff like that. I've used it tons of times, and I've worked with so many. It's like one of the most popular affordable microphones. So I've worked with so many people that have it. One of the staples of that microphone, it is very, very sensitive, as most large diaphragm condensers are. It's very sensitive and it's very, very bright. Which is why a lot of people like it compared to some other microphones. This microphone's not. This microphone is like flat and mellow and dull. I love it because it's a great blank canvas of a microphone. I prefer that when I'm processing and mixing with like a tube microphone. But some people like when a microphone, you plug it in and it sounds partially processed. It's made a decision for you already. That's one thing that the NT1 has, right? Where you plug it in and it's like pretty bright. It's already pretty open. But you're also getting a lot of sensitivity, right? So you're getting some room, you're getting some self noise, and you're also just getting some inflated low end and far high end sibilance and stuff like that, and far low end, not just in the EQ. Some of it is in the EQ, but also just in proximity. I would, this is hard if you're trying to track everyone together, but I would back off your mic probably a little bit. It sounds to me like you're fairly close, not right on it maybe, but just a couple inches from the microphone. If I had to like guess and make a complete assumption that you're probably just a few inches from the microphones. You track the vocals after. Okay, I prefer that anyways. That way you're not dealing with all this crazy room bleed. That wouldn't make any sense. Tracking the booth after, that's going to be in comp in. That's going to be a lot better. But I'm assuming you're probably just a few inches from the microphone. You're getting a lot of kind of low end proximity effect, a lot of kind of inflated, you're about 18 inches away. Okay, so if that's the case, then you're really inflating low end. So 1 or 2 is the same, right? So either proximity is inflating it, or the low end is really inflated to create, I think, a lot of that depth maybe that you're looking for. I would prefer that it's more just controlled, right? Because you want depth. You want that low end, the low end of your chest voice to feel like it is powerful, it has presence, it has body, but not that it's boomy, right? So especially between 100 and 300 hertz, that's where, yeah, I did that in EQ. That makes sense. That makes more sense now. I was like, it's either the proximity creating that, or you're artificially inflating that in the EQ. So if that's happening in the EQ, just don't artificially inflate that too much. It makes the vocal very boomy, especially in contrast with like a very like soft open mix, that sounds pretty balanced. And so on the vocal, keep it fairly flat. Like what I would do to just start, to set a baseline for your vocal, high pass for your vocal at like 70 to 80 hertz. Probably no higher than 80 hertz. That's where you can low cut or high pass. Any higher than that, it'll get thin. Any lower than that, it's going to be a little bit weird. You're going to get some rumble and some boominess in the low end that you just don't need. High pass at like 80 hertz. The reason why I would do 80 instead of like 100 or 120 is because I want to maintain as much of that low end presence as possible without inflating it, right? Without it just being, super, super boomy. So I want to maintain that low end presence because it's vital to the tone of your vocal and for it actually feeling like it has body in the mix. So high pass at like 80 hertz. That'll cut out the low end rumble without thinning it up too much. And then just tastefully between 100 and 300 hertz, have a soft bell curve and lower it until the mud goes away, but you maintain your vocal. If I do that, like just an example, I'll do that on my vocal really quick. Where's my EQ? There's my EQ. So if I take this bell right here and I pull this down, you'll immediately hear, this is just 100 to 300 hertz. This is just, I'm pulling down at 200 and I'm spanning between 100 and 300. It's like immediately like thin and tinny and brutal, and I hate it. It sounds horrible. That's too thin, affecting one frequency. If I boost this, this is muddy and boomy and nasty, and nobody wants to listen to this. Sounds boxy and crazy. Nobody wants that. So my goal, and this is a voiceover, this is not like a vocal mix for a song, but this is kind of more like a voiceover, like channel that I have on here right now. This is the way that I've set up my chain. I'm just going to like lower this lightly at like 200 hertz. In my case, I'm doing like a dB and a half because I already have it running through a preamp that has some EQ on it. I have it lowered like a dB and a half, so where there's still some body, like there's still a little bit. Yeah, tinny drives me insane. Yeah, 100%. You don't want that. You don't want that, right? So we need body, but we don't want boomy. We don't want this. We don't want this big boomy, nasty vocal down here because it just gets muddy. And that's going to take over your mix, especially in the low end between the high end of your bass, your acoustic guitars, your kick and your snare and your toms, all of these different elements, the low end of the electric guitar, all this low end is going to conflate all of that. It's all going to get muddy together and it's going to sound horrible, right? So we just need to take some of that away. We want your vocal to set over the top of the mix, but not sound thin. So you want to find a balance. In my case, it's 200 hertz, about a dB and a half, but I'm already running an EQ in my preamp. So that I already have some of that taken. I already have some of that going in outboard, right? So you're just going to use that. And that's what I would say right now. What I call a U-shape EQ curve, right? So right now, what you have is very, very bright at the top and very, very, I can't see in the mic, very, very bright at the top, very, very boomy in the bottom, and then carved space in the middle. So most of the fundamental frequencies of your vocal are between like 600 and 1200 hertz. Most of the beef, the vast majority of like the fundamental frequencies of your vocal are between 600 and 1200 hertz. If you carve that out, you lose all of like the life of your vocal, right? It sounds kind of weird and hollow and sometimes even like phasey and weird. It's going to sound boomy. It's going to sound boomy in the low end, which it does now, and bright and brittle at the top end and hollow in the middle. What I would do is start out maintaining that mid. Maintaining the mid. If you scoop those mids, it's going to sound funky. It's going to sound boomy and bright and hollow in the middle, which is a little bit of what you're dealing with now. Regain that warmth because we need warmth. We need it to feel balanced. We want it to feel warm. We want it to feel inviting to listen to, and use your top and bottom. Use your top and bottom of your mix in order to balance, right? So if I can push the high end and drop the low end and boost the low end and drop the high end, I'm using that to create almost like a seesaw. Like the middle is kind of your anchor, right? That's where your fundamental is. The middle is kind of like your anchor for where most of like the fundamental life and presence and body of your vocal sits. You can carve it, you can manipulate it, you can take some ring. Maybe there's some like ringing, some unbeneficial resonance that's happening at 1200 hertz. You can, I hear that ring in the background. Let me drop that down 3 dB, carve it a little slice out of it. You can do some stuff like that in the mids, and you can boost a little bit here and cut a little bit here lightly to kind of like mold the tone that you want. But for the most part, I would use kind of a seesaw on the top and bottom in order to create and control some of the life and presence of your vocal, right? If it needs more brightness, open up the top end slightly, tastefully, and control low end so you can bias attention towards higher end frequencies, and then control the seesaw in the middle right there. If you just carve it out, then you're going to get this like boxy, boomy vocal that just feels very like plosive while also being harsh in the top end. And that's going to give you some issues. And then your vocal, you're always going to run into, you're kind of talking rocket science to me. I'm humble about it. No problem. I can try to simplify a little bit too. Basically, line is closed. I appreciate you tapping in though. We'll be live again tomorrow. So if you want your music heard, you can definitely tap in, but the line is closed for today. But basically just instead of carving out in the middle, use your top and low end to control, right? If it feels boomy, control it in the low end. If it feels brittle, control it in the high end. But don't make any extreme curves unless you find it absolutely necessary in the middle. That's going to really affect the quality of your vocal. Let me answer this question real quick. AJ, absolutely all genres. Pharaoh said, let me see. What's a budget-friendly mic and an interface to start an in-house studio without treating the room? If you're not gonna, I mean, treating the room to me is the priority. Regardless, it's gonna be the most important thing. Just some fiberglass, like a couple fiberglass panels, some rugs in there, and some curtains will do you really, really good. So I would still prioritize treatment no matter what you get. It's gonna be more worth it than the mic that you get in most senses. Treatment is absolutely vital. But given that, let's say that you don't have a lot of treatment, but you got some rugs and you got some curtains and maybe some panels on the wall, right? Like simple stuff. If you want budget, you said budget. If you want a budget setup, and you don't have good treatment, the more sensitive of a mic that you get, the more necessary treatment is. So I wouldn't get a sensitive microphone if you're not going to do treatment. I would get a dynamic microphone. If you want a budget interface, I would get a Universal Audio Volt. I think the Universal Audio Volt, I've had two of them. I still use one in my mobile. Right now I have a better interface for my main studio. But I have one for my mobile studio. So if I'm on the road, I take a Volt with me. Universal Audio Volts, depending on how many inputs and outputs you need, it could be anywhere from like 120 to 250 bucks, which is pretty cheap. I think it's the cleanest preamps and the best conversion for the price. I've had them all. I've had all the Scarletts and all the Amadios and all the whatever. I've had 15 different interfaces, all the Behringers and stuff. I think the Volt is the best for the price. And then if you're not going to treat, like I said, I would encourage you to treat. But if you're just not going to, or you're not going to invest in that, then I would get a dynamic microphone. There's a lot of different options for that. Earthworks has a really good dynamic microphone that you can, I forget the exact name of, I think it's the Earthworks Icon. They have a really good dynamic mic that does a great job. You can't see it on the screen, or maybe you can. No, you can't. I have an SM7B over here next to me. I've used that for years. I've had that for like a decade. SM7B is always a good choice. One of the reasons why is it's because it's a dynamic microphone. A dynamic microphone, it's much less sensitive and has a hypercardioid pattern, polar pattern, which means it's going to eject a lot more in the space. This, like a microphone like this is a cardioid, large diaphragm tube condenser microphone. This is sensitive as hell. It picks up everything. It picks up the neighbor's dogs across the street. It's super sensitive. And if your room isn't decently treated, my room is decently treated. If it's not decently treated, it's going to give you a lot of issues, and it's going to pick up on everything. You're going to get some like reflection and phasing that sounds really nasty. So if you're not going to treat, I would go with the dynamic microphone. Earthworks is great. The MV7 is pretty good too. If you want to save a little bit of money, for sure. And then the SM7B or SM7DB is always a good go-to. It's not a great sounding. People like when they like pretend it's a great sounding microphone. It's not. It's a tool. It's a workhorse. It's not like a great sounding mic. It's like a little dull and mellow. But it handles processing really well. So one of the things I do like about the SM7 is that it handles. You can throw a lot at it. I use it on drums sometimes. I use it obviously on vocals a lot. The SM7 is good for stuff like that. So you can throw a lot at it, and it can handle it, and it can handle EQ really well. And it does a pretty good job of handling processing. So that would be my recommendation. Get you a Volt and an SM7 with an inline preamp, and you'll be fine. You're all in like $600, and you can get moving. You'll get moving in the right direction. Okay, really quick. Let's skip towards the end of this. Captain Matt. Hopefully, this gives you a little bit of a better idea of like maybe some ways that you can focus. Matt, on the way that you're processing and stuff like that, because y'all have good structure. Y'all are good musicians, tons of potential good writing structure, which is in country music. That's more important than anything. Good writing is vital. So I do think you have a lot of good structure here, but I would love to improve on like vocal structure, vocal performance, and then vocal processing. All right, let me skip towards this last little section here.
Island pouring one more as the tide rolls in on a carefree shore. I take a slow sip and let the world disappear.
Yep.
Lean back and sit in my cold side ahead. Sails catch the breeze, the water so blue. Nothing but sunshine as a captain of you. The real world fades, I slip off in time to that endless summer in my mind. Oh,
What's up, Dan the band?
in my mind.
Okay, last thing that I'll say. You're talking about like working with an engineer, working with a producer. Here's the thing that I would prioritize with that, right? So your vocal needs some control, right? So dynamic control, pitch control, stuff like that. Like I said, yay or nay to Melodyne. Really like or don't like? Or need to is what you're talking about. Let me know. In my mind, really like to melody. Yeah, 100%. So those are the things, right, that this needs when, and this is dry, right, or raw. This is fairly raw. It's got reverb and whatever on it and stuff like that. But it needs just practical processing, right? Control processing is what you would call it, right? So like a little bit of like control over dynamic range very raw. Control over dynamic range through compression, re-EQing, so it's a little warmer, a little bit more balanced, especially top, bottom, and central mid of that vocal. And then pitch control as well. Obviously, source of that is you yourself, right? Source of that is comping in. Want to keep it authentic, 100%. The best engineers know how to process in a way that's transparent. You don't want to hear auto tune. You don't want to like hear compression happening. And this is what I'm talking about with your vocal now. I hear EQ happening. I hear that I can hear that boost in the low and high end. I hear the mid scoop. I'm hearing processing happening. I hear a mono reverb right in the middle. A really great engineer, all of those things are happening, but it's transparent. The listener doesn't even know. It just is like a part of the ether, right? It's just like a part of this broader mix. And so what I would focus on when it comes to like working with an engineer, working with a producer and stuff like that, is you want someone who, and again, finding an engineer and producer is like dating sometimes. Sometimes you gotta like work with someone once, and you're like, we don't really vibe. I feel like we're going in different directions. We want something different out of our lives. And then some people are like, dude, we met and it was love at first sight and we are with them forever. There's people that I've been with for a long time where it's like that. We're like, man, we did one mix and one production and then we've worked together for years. Like it's always gonna happen, right? So it's a little bit of trial and error. You gotta listen to people's stuff. You gotta understand kind of people's strengths and their weaknesses. But when it comes to vocal processing specifically, what I would pursue and what I would train your ear for and what I would request from an engineer is control. I want pitch control. I want placed, tuned vocals, but I want transparency. I often feel like I'm giving all into my previous relationships with engineers. Sometimes you got to know when to cut. Sometimes you know when to cut. And dude, that goes for both sides too. Sometimes as an engineer, I've had to know when I need to like let an artist go and be like, hey, we have a different vision for this, and I have a standard for something that I want to put out there, and we're not on the same page. Like this goes both ways, right? And so you got to know when to cut as well. And it's business. At the end of the day, it's art and it's creative. But when you're paying someone a lot of money for a service, you're booking studio time, you're spending hundreds of dollars, if not more, on a good mix and mastering engineer and a talented producer. You're giving up points. You're working with a band. You're maybe hiring session musicians and stuff like that. It's art and it's creativity and it's all that fun stuff. But it's also a business. It's also a business. And so if something's not working, you move on, right? Like you do a song with one producer or one engineer, and they don't get your vision. Give them a chance if you feel like they have the chops for it, or you find someone who you just know, like, hey, this is gonna work. This is gonna work, and we're gonna move a little bit more, intentionally in the direction that you want to go. But at the end of the day, look for transparency in your vocal. I want to hear you. I want to hear Matt as the vocalist here. So you don't want a really tight tuning structure to be over compressed. This is not Ed Sheeran. It's not a modern pop song. Like you want to have a natural, organic, vocal for the most part, but you still want control of dynamic range. You want healthy harmonics and saturation, and good pitch control all the way through. Obviously, this starts at your performance as a vocalist and as a songwriter. That's the most important part, the way that you're performing on the mic and your pitch control. But at the end of the day, when it comes to tuning structure, you're looking for transparency. That's what I would request. That's what I would look for. If you hear too much auto tune and they're just slapping plugins on there, tell them to back off of that and unwind just a little bit, and then kind of go from there. That's how I was with my previous engineer. Great with instrumental, but terrible with vocals. It happens. Everyone has their strengths. And I also know, like, obviously this depends on budget and stuff too, right? Like it really, really depends. But I also know people that they've spent a lot of money on engineers, and they just don't listen to them, and they just kind of, they're really bad with their revisions and stuff like that. But everyone has strengths. I mean, I know a lot of like producers that, what's up? Appreciate you hopping in. Thank you for the follow. I know a lot of producers that they started in production and instrumentals, and they got great at making beats, and then just started calling themselves an engineer. They've been making, they've been selling beats on BeatStars for like, 4 years, and all of a sudden they're like, I guess I'm an engineer too. And then they're taking on clients as engineers, and then people realize that they don't know how to mix vocals. And that's challenging. Or they've never mixed anything over or more than a 2-track, right? So they've only mixed instrumentals with a rapper over it. And all of a sudden it's like, hey, what about this choir in quad track guitars? And they're like, what the fuck? Like, what am I supposed to do? So you're going to run into a lot of that in this industry. You're going to run into a lot of people that have only done one thing for a long period of time, and you're realizing some of their pain points. You know what I mean? And so you just got to find someone who knows what they're doing, who works with a broad spectrum. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, 100%. I mean, in fact, I'm working with a really cool country artist right now out of Nashville. You're totally good. You're totally good. We're about to get into yours. You're good. Or if you need me to hold it, let me know. I'll be on tomorrow as well. Yeah, dude. Yeah, if you want me to hold it. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, absolutely willing, Matt. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm working with a really cool country artist and a really, really talented producer. So I'm doing some session work with them, and then doing some like composition consultations with this artist. Phenomenal producer over in Nashville. So I do have work in that space, and I've done some other stuff out of Atlanta as well, some session work and composition work out of Atlanta. Anyways, so if you're willing to work, man, I'd be happy to talk budget, timeline, stuff like that. Just shoot me a message anytime. But yeah, definitely. Well, that's what I do for a living. This is not, this is a smaller slice. But that's production engineering. That's what I do for a living. So if you ever want to work, just shoot me a message, man, anytime. I'll be happy to talk through some of the details with you, get the track outs from you, and work through the project itself, man. But y'all please show some love to Captain Matt. Captain Matt, I appreciate you tapping in today. Thank you for trusting me with your music, man. It means a lot. It's a vulnerable thing, especially unfinished projects, demos, and stuff like that. I appreciate that greatly, man. So thank you for tapping in today, for sending in your music. It means a lot. Let's move. Let me see. Aurelia, let me know if you're good. I'm happy to hold it for tomorrow if you want me to, man. There's no pressure. I'm gonna be here. I'll be here probably every day this week, as far as I'm aware. Of course, man. Anytime. I'm glad to hear that. Let me know if you want me to hold it. You're good? Okay, let's run it. I'm trying to move at a good pace, and I'm doing a terrible job. I do a terrible job of moving fast, y'all. It doesn't work. Okay, let me get this email pulled up, and then Derek, you're gonna close this up here in the end. I just saw you tap in for a second. Okay. And Aurelia, give me the details, because you've changed names 3 times since I've like artist names a couple times since the last time. Shoot me I'll send you my business email. I'll send you my business email. So just shoot me a DM on TikTok or Instagram, either one. And then right, yeah, I remember you telling me that. But then I think you switched artist names again, right? Thank you for the follow, Captain Matt. I appreciate it. Yeah, shoot me, and I'll send you my email from there. I try not to. I get so much spam, dude. For how many of y'all reach out, regardless, multiply that by 15, and I'm just getting sent the most random stuff all the time. Parents log in other account. I blocked them on this and start up. Okay, that makes sense. All right, update me on the track. Update me on the creative side of this really quick, okay? And I'm sorry. I'm also sorry to hear that. Bullet Ren, thanks for tapping in. Update me on, I'll read the email here really quick, but yeah, update me on the kind of the structure of this. Let me get this downloaded really fast. Thank y'all so much for tapping in. The line is closed. Line is closed for today. We're going to open it back again tomorrow afternoon. So if you would like to submit, you can read all the details at my profile by clicking on the link. Click on the link there. You'll see everything that you need. But we're closed for today. We'll open up the lines again tomorrow afternoon. So definitely make sure that you're following. 12,000 views in 24 hours, 2,000 likes. Let's go. In Your Arms featuring Lulu. Let me get this downloaded real quick. But y'all, make sure y'all are following. I appreciate y'all tapping in so much. Pedro, thank you so much for being here. This is unreleased, but finished. Just gonna master. Everything in here is intentional. It's meant to sound nostalgic to my childhood. I'm a 2003 baby. I'm old as fuck. Don't even tell me that. 2003 is crazy. That's not old. If you say that's old, then I'm out of this world. All right, let's get into it. Remind me just really quick, because everyone's situation changes over time sometimes. So update me. Okay, sounds good, Derek. Sorry, just saw that. Sounds good. Update me on your role in like production and mix and stuff like that, because I know that changes. Yeah, 2003 is old is crazy. It's crazy. I'm a 94. I'm a 94. I was born in 75. I was to say, Matt, I was like, don't say 2003 is old. That's crazy. My friend is the Don't Be Shy verse. I produced and mixed you. Okay, beautiful. Let's get it running. This is In Your Arms by Aurelia featuring Lulu. I make you feel old, and Aurelia's making me feel like I could be their parent. You know what I'm saying? Nice. Really quick, is this, you're saying it's already blowing up? Is that just in posts, or is this already out? Is this already out in distribution? Oh, post. Okay, cool. Cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that. I can see edits to this. I wanna feel alive in your arms, yeah. It's hard. So Feggio, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. So this is you? What's up? Good to see you. Got you. Okay. And then a switch. I'm gonna have to catch it. It's pretty similar. Got you. I love this like late 90s delayed piano. It's nice. It reminds me of like the old like Monster Cat playlists I used to listen to all the time, like in high school, middle school and high school. Yeah. You've improved a lot. This is cool. Line is closed. We'll be back on tomorrow, so make sure that you're following. Let's go. Hey, some of the best art comes from that. Some of the best art comes from pain. Singing about the thing that you desire. It's a cool aesthetic. It's really nice. Uh-oh. I was like, hold on. Is there more, or is that just the tail? Oh yeah, it said it had 3 minutes left. That was weird. That's hilarious. What the hell? Fallon, what's up, Fallon? I was like, hold on, was that me? Do I have reverb on my vocal? What's going on? Yeah, show some love to Aurelia. I would love to, but we're closed. We're closed. We'll be open up tomorrow. I know, Fallon just hops into here, just like, right? Like, what in the world? All right, let's run it back from the top. Yeah, we're closed for tonight, but we're going to open up the line again tomorrow. We'll open up and we'll get a bunch of y'all back up on the board tomorrow. So definitely make sure that you're following. If you're not already, we'll go through some consultations tomorrow as well. That's so funny. All right, let's run through it. Let's hop in it from the top. This is not released to platforms yet. Let me know, Aurelia, if there's anything that you want me to focus on. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, we get a ton of different music here. Night Driver, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. I'm interested. What kind of music do you make? Night Driver sounds like synthwave. That sounds like some Kavinsky stuff. Let me know what kind of music you make. I would love to know. Let me know if there's anything in particular you want me to hone in on, Aurelia. I know you said most of what you have here is intentional. It's where you want it largely. If there's anything that I can help you polish or anything you want me to focus on, please let me know. Otherwise, let's get into it. Let's run it from the top. We'll dive into some details, and then Derek, you're going to close this out. I like the sound design a lot. Those pads are really nice. It's a great melody. It's a great, like I talk all the time about having an instrumental hook. That's a great instrumental hook as well. You get a little bit of like, I mean, there's a core structure to this. It's a little more hard style, but you have like this core hyper pop in there too. That's giving you some of these stutters and glitches and stuff like that. That feels like very familiar to what I know a lot of your like earlier music to be too. So I'm still getting a lot of that early music tone. Little D&B, yeah, a little D&B breakdown too. It's cool. Beautiful.
I wanna feel alive in your arms,
It's heavy. I think a lot of this is it's doing what it's supposed to do. Now, again, you're dealing with a lot of noise, a lot of saturation, a lot of like chorusing and phasing and stuff like that. But it's supposed to be. This is supposed to be heavy. It's supposed to be noisy. Is for the song. I can't see though. You're holding it down. You're holding it down. Yeah, like I think a lot of this is doing what it's supposed to do. It's distorted, it's heavy, and that's the style, that's the genre. So I feel like you're executing that in a way that's very consistent with what I would typically hear in the genre. I think that's great. If I can mention one thing that you can just revisit before you release, it's not structural. Like to me, it's not like a thing, like a whole part of it you need to change. Nothing like that. Something really, really simple. The only thing that I am noticing that I think could use a little bit of molding and a little bit of polish is the stereo image of this breakdown. So what you're dealing with, and again, this might not come through on TikTok that much. It's probably going to come through better on the Red and Purple app, just because the audio is uncompressed over there. But you're dealing with like a lot of like mono imaging with very, very little stereo processing. So everything, like you get into kind of like the biggest part of the song right here, where you expect there to be a lot of punch and a lot of energy and a lot of drive, but everything feels a little bit collapsed. It feels everything's kind of like coming at you right down the nose here. And I would love for some of those elements, like a chorused vocal processing, the upper side of the synth bass that you have in there to feel a little bit wider and a little bit more open. But the whole mix is kind of coming at you right here. It's kind of coming right down the middle here, and I want it to feel a little bit more open because the production is so cool. Like it has the punch, it has the drive, it has the energy, but you don't necessarily perceive that in the mix. It's like I can hear that it exists there, but I don't actually feel it. Right? It feels a little small. And so I would love to open up that image a little bit, even a simple, if you want to go basic and like lazy with it, a simple stereo chorus on one of those synths there, or even on that vocal or on an aux to feed in, can help open that up quite a bit. Is it Kate Jeltsin? Thank you so much for hopping in. I'm sure I'm butchering your name, but thank you for tapping in. I am playing songs, but it's a lot deeper than that. We're doing about like 30 plus minute consultations with different artists, producers, and musicians and songwriters. So we're spending 30 minutes diving into the details of the production, mix, song format, and structure, stuff like that. Manifesta's in a building. What's up, Manifesta? Good to see you. Let me know if that makes sense to you, Aurelia. Let me back it up just a little bit here. I want to play that again. That to me is like the main thing that I'm hearing, because most of your processing is really good and it works. The vocal sits at the top. You have great energy, but I don't want to miss out on that energy when that beat drops. And that to me is like that should be priority number one. The drop is everything. And here you get a lot more of that stereo image. Yeah, you get a lot more of that. Like here it feels really, really vibrant. You get a stereo, distorted reverb and stuff like that. Yeah. The drop is everything. The drop is everything. So that's why I'm like, I don't want you to miss out, because what's going to happen? This is what I don't want to happen. I don't want it to pop off on social media and you're like, dude, this video has 100,000 views now. It's going crazy. Everyone's loving it. And people are finding it on their phone, right? They're swiping through right here. And as soon as they want to play it in their headphones or in their car on their way to their workout or whatever it may be, right? It feels it doesn't feel like it has the same punch and drive, right? And so that's the translation issue that I want to make sure works, right? I want to make sure that from the phone to the headphones to the car, you know, to the sound bar to whatever, that it all translates. So that's where I want to make sure that you still get some more open stereo imaging on that breakdown right there. So whether, like I said, as simple as a chorus here and there, a stereo chorus, or a little bit more stereo information on the hit right there, I think would be really, really valuable, because you get it in the verse, but you don't really get it in the breakdown, and that is the breakdown. That's where you need it. All this opens up.
I wanna feel alive in your arms, in your arms. There's a night away alive in your arms.
There's so much potential there. So much so that's the one little portion that I would revisit. Just redial in right there. The rest of this energy, I think, is really, really good. So let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. I don't want this to be clean. You know, that's what I'm trying to dissect that too. I don't want this to be clean. It's supposed to be dirty. It's supposed to be grungy. It's supposed to be distorted and heavy. I don't want this polished and pristine and sterile. That's not what we're going for. In fact, I'm wanting it to feel bigger, fatter, wider. You know what I mean? I want it to have even more energy on this breakdown. So that's the one little thing that I would redirect some attention towards. I think you're good to go. Especially on that bass, especially on top end of that bass. A mid side could be helpful to open up some of the higher frequencies to the outside, or just like I said, a stereo chorus that actually gives you some frequency pocket too, to open up just the top end a little bit and just mix it in lightly. That's what's nice about, I can show you. Oh no, I'm not going to do that on the vocal right here. But there's, even in I use Pro Tools obviously, but which we've talked about. But on Pro Tools, you can there's some that have parallel. So I can just actually change the mix of the chorus. So the chorus isn't all the way on or off. I can just mix it in stereo, so my mono vocals feel like they're locked in, and then I can just feed in a stereo chorus to the outside to make it feel wider and more vibrant. Little things like that. You could have a stereo chorus that you mix in to that hard hitting bass, that distorted bass right there in the middle, to just give it a little bit of openness and life, but not necessarily take over as a chorus. You don't need it to be the whole image, the whole structure of the bass. It can just be a little nugget that opens it up a little bit. Beyond that, I feel like you're in a good spot, especially in this genre. Sounds good, Derek. Sounds good. Again, once those synths come in, you're good. So that's why I want to take care of that. That's, again, I'm reiterating it 100 times. That's why I want to take care of that, is because once the dun dun dun, the early 2000s, late 90s, electronic, massive synth stacks right there, those super saw stacks, those are all doing exactly what they're supposed to do. When they come in, they feel huge, they feel vibrant, they feel absolutely wild. Previous to that, it doesn't hit. So that's why we need the stereo imaging right there. 777, welcome in. Appreciate you being here. Love the chops here too. Beautiful. You did a great job on this, Aurelia. You did a great job. This is awesome. I like the production a lot. Same thing there. Same, yeah. So it's really just that one. It's that one little pocket, because this feels like it's about to get big and heavy, and it just feels right here. If you can open up these breakdowns, that alone on the breakdown is going to transform the way the song feels. Transform it. The rest of it, once those synths come in, the vocal chops are beautiful and ethereal. Everything else is sounding really nice. And all this is great. Crazy. Sampled a bit, but everyone, oh man. Yeah, no, I think I think you're doing what you need to do. You're doing what you need to do. Yeah, some don't fit. You got to do what works. I don't really care. I'm not a snob about, I'm probably a snob about something, but I'm not really a snob about how you build in your music structure. Whether it's a loop or you sampled it in from Splice and it's a 4/4 kick that you brought in, it doesn't, who cares? What's the difference between throwing in a one shot in Splice and then looping it 4 times and bringing in a 4 loop kick that would be the same. Like, it doesn't really matter. If it works, it works. I just, just process it so it makes sense in your record. If it compensates, this is one of 5 in an album. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let me hear the outro really quick. But I think you're right there with one song being my hardest one ever. Let's go. This one hits. This one hits. And like I said, my biggest goal for you is that you translate, right? The biggest goal is that you take the energy that people are encountering through the phone, right? Because they're attracted to it in the phone. They're gravitating towards it. They're seeing the content and they're liking what they're hearing. That's huge. If that doesn't translate, then you're going to miss out. Right? If that doesn't, if all of a sudden they go to stream it, because it's a small, it's like 0.5% are going to actually go stream it. If that 0.5% goes and streams it, Jay Sherman, thank you for the follow. If 0.5% of them go and they stream this song with a viral post or something like that, and it doesn't translate and they put it in their car and it just doesn't hit, like they're blasting it in their headphones, trying to jam to it at the gym or something like that, and it doesn't hit, then you're going to miss out on, replays of that. Your replay value is going to go down. Your retention is going to go down. So I highly recommend that you deal with that low end structure, the stereo image of that bass and that part of your breakdown. Because if you don't, it's going to be lackluster in one of the heavier parts of the song before those synths come in. If you knock that out of the park, then the rest of it's going to fall into place. I mean, the vibe and the energy of this matters more than anything, right? So get that one little pocket right, and you're going to be good to go. Y'all show some love. Show some love, show some love. That's the family, Aurelia. Everybody go follow Aurelia. Show some love and support. They got a video that's blowing up right now, so go show it some love and support. Go like it, go comment some stuff on it, all that good stuff. Show some love and support to the family. We appreciate you. Libby and I both appreciate you so much. Thank you for tapping in today. I know it's been a while since we've heard your music, so it's exciting to get to hear what you've been working on. So all love to you from this end. All love to you from this end. All right, Derek Bennett, talk to me. I got to get out of here. Let's close it out here. Let's close it out here, y'all. This is going to be our last 2 tracks of the day. We're going to go back to back. I've got Never Be the Same and a redo of The Vow. Beautiful. I know. About time, Derek. We made it. A redo of The Vow rough mix and Never Be the Same. Let me know which one you want me to go first, and then talk to me about what you want me to listen for, what we're doing here. Big John, welcome in. Appreciate you being here. If you're over on TikTok, keep tapping the screen, share out the live with a few people. I appreciate y'all tapping in today. We are closed as far as submissions and consultations go today, but if you want to get in the line tomorrow, just make sure that you're following. We'll be live on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok tomorrow. So definitely tap in. Make sure you're following, subscribe to all of that good stuff. Let me see. He said The Vow first. Okay. This is a redo of The Vow. So I've heard The Vow, but the second one I don't think I've heard before. I am an aspiring new artist. Can you give me some advice to how to improve? That is super open. I would love to. I would absolutely love to. It's super open-ended. If you can hone in on what you feel like is a pain point for you, that would be better for me. Because there's infinite things that we all should and can improve on. But if you feel like there's a pain point to your pursuit of music that you're struggling with, let me know. I'll do my best to answer questions that you have in between these consultations. All right, this is The Vow by Derek Bennett. Let's get into it. This is a redo of a song I did for my wife a few years ago. Redid the production myself this time fully. The name seems familiar. Have I heard the name? Have I heard the name before? Back when I wrote it, I wasn't fully producing it. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's get into it.
Can't remember the first time I saw you. Can't remember
Is this you?
the first time I met you.
Swansea, welcome in.
But
I got you.
remember the first time I fell in
Let's go, man.
love with you.
This was one of the early vocals, right? Or
You showed up
yeah, I was gonna say this is when I was like, I remember this voice.
when I was broke.
This was like one of the first vocals, I think. Yeah, that's why that makes a lot of sense. Did he retrack? Yeah, this was one of the first vocals I heard from him. Nice.
You help me pick up the pieces and put me together.
Okay, cool. Okay, nice. That makes sense. And these are the new drums, right? Yeah, let's go. 3:39. Okay, yeah, you cut like 90 seconds out. That's great. That's great. Much more viable for plays.
I love that
Nice, nice, nice. Hey, we're closed for today, but thank you so much for tapping in. We'll open up the lines again tomorrow, so just make sure y'all are following, and we'll open things up tomorrow. I appreciate y'all being here, though. Those guitars are nice. I like the mutes. I like that melody. That's cool. This is a good structure. We should be able to move pretty quick through this one. It just needs, its like initial balancing and stuff. Pull it away from the limiter and the compressor a little bit, but the structure of this is really good.
Even if you think I did, I won't stop thanking God for you. You brought joy into my life. Now forever you're my wife. Even if you think I did, I never stop thanking God for your love.
Let's go, Derek. Reba, welcome in. Welcome in. Yeah, this is the structure of this is really, really nice. Man, y'all show some love. Let's go straight this one. This one's gonna be quick. I don't think there's a lot you need to address on this. Sammy, the line is closed. So I hope you didn't send credit because the line is closed. I appreciate you tapping in. Thank you so much for being here though. Yeah, the line is closed. So if you want to submit a full submission, just do it tomorrow. And I'll open up the lines again tomorrow, and we'll toss everybody up on the board ready to go. Yeah, I think the main structure of this is really, really well done. It's really, really well done. Dynamic range is really nice as well. Musicianship sounds great. I love the structure of the guitar. The muting on the verses is great. The new drums are beautiful. I'm so glad you got those. Romer, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. Drum structure is fantastic. It just needs, like right now, you're just dealing with a lot of production mud that can be clarified pre-mix, right? Like heading in that direction. So it's a little bit more clarified. Pulling back on some of the low end mud, some of the over compression that's happening on the master, right? Just pull things back a little bit, give it some clarity. And that way it's just a little bit easier to understand the reference in the mix. And then of course, just, let me see, there's one other thing. And then maybe like clarifying some of the reverbs and stuff like that. But let's get into the structure. Mockingbird, welcome in. Good to see you. Let's run it from the top. Let's get into the details here, and then we'll run through the last one. We'll close it up.
Can't remember the first time I saw you. Can't remember the first time I met you. But I remember the first time I fell in love with you.
Let's go, Mockingbird.
You showed up at a time when
I've heard of it. I don't have it though. I've got so many keys, but that's one that I do. Is that Keyscape or something similar to that?
Can't remember the first time I saw.
Once those guitars come in, sorry for the allergies, y'all. Once those guitars come in, obviously the pacing picks up a little bit. This early part of it to me gets a little bit Sunday sound. Okay, cool. I'll have to check it out. This early part to me, just on the, let's see. it gets a little slow, a little like the pacing of it, I feel like is a little bit slow. It could be nice. Like what you have there, I don't think is bad, but I do feel like it gets a little boring just because of the sound design before those guitars come in. It could be nice to just have like one plucky synth that's just kind of giving you like a just like a pulsing, like almost like a slight LFO, but like a pulsing like synth in the back with a little bit of delay. I like nice like short decay with a delay, nice and muted, kind of plucky synth that just keeps like a 16th rolling in the background, even from the very beginning of the song structure. To keep it really quiet. I just feel like it needs something.
Can't remember the first time I saw you. Can't remember.
Like nothing that changes the dynamic too much, but keeps the energy, anticipation moving you forward a little bit more. TCG, thank you so much for tapping in. We're closed. We're closed right now. The line is closed, but we're going to open it back up tomorrow. So if y'all want to submit, just make sure that y'all are following. We'll be live again tomorrow afternoon, Central Time, and we'll open up the lines again. Yeah, just a pulsing like pluck synth in the background. That like I don't know if I have anything on. This is super reverberated. Let me see. I'm gonna pull this down. I don't want to change this to it. I'm gonna pull back this reverb a whole bunch here just for the sake of kind of showing you, and then I'll pull it back. Let's see.
Can't remember the first time I saw you. Can't remember the
No, I don't want to change this sound.
met you, but I remember the
That's kind of cool sounding.
first time I fell in love with
It is a great sound.
You showed up at a time when I
Okay, hold on.
was broken.
Hold on. I don't want to change the sound because it's on a project that I'm working on. So I'm like, wait, hold on. I don't want to actually adjust that too much and then forget to change it back and not know what I did. Yeah, I think it's just like think of what the guitars are doing.
When I was broken and
The super plucky, dry, muted, way in the back. I think it like barely needs to be. That doesn't need to be prominent. It can be way in the background, just a plucked, just like 16th note arpeggio in the background with some like velocity changes. And it can literally just hold on the C.
can't remember the first time I saw you. Can't remember the first time.
I just need like something to take it out of feeling too contemporary. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty and like what's happening there is fine, but it will just end up feeling, I think, like too like basic and contemporary if there's not like something to kind of liven it up without being too loud, right? Like nothing too prominent, nothing too forward. It just needs something to kind of like wake it up before those guitars come in. Once the guitars come in, it sounds beautiful, but that to me, it just like it needs some energy there. Otherwise, it will feel just, yeah, you got a couple little things you can try, toss something in there, and you kind of know the deal. Let's get into it. Guitars are beautiful, love them.
You help me pick up the pieces. You help me trust again. You help me love again. Even if you think I did, I never stopped thanking God for you.
It could be. I still an acoustic. It would work. It would work. That'd be probably fine. I think it'll still keep it sounding a little contemporary or like a little. I think something that modernizes it a little bit will help. Something that I think that's why I think a synth could be good. Excuse me, a pluck synth could be good. Once the guitars come in, I think it sounds fine. Acoustic would work. It would do the job of what I'm talking about. So try it with an acoustic. Try it with an acoustic and see how it feels. If it still doesn't feel quite right, then add just a little tight, plucky synth in there to fill in, some of the energy in the early parts there, so it doesn't feel too dynamically slow. Competai's in the building. What's up, Competai? Welcome in. It's going great, man. It's going great. I'm about to hop off here after the next song. Appreciate you tapping in. Most of the dynamics of the hook, I think, are fine. Like I said, we should be able to move pretty quick through this. I would just, like I said, you're getting a lot of pumping from your compression. So just pull away from like your master compression and stuff like that so that as you send this to an engineer to mix. There's a little bit better clarity, a little bit better openness. So it's easier to distinguish what's going on in your reference so they know how to place. The better your sources, the better your references will be, the better your references and demos are going to be, the better your mix is going to be, because they understand where you want things. So yeah, a couple little nuggets right there just to make sure that it doesn't feel like a blob of sound in the middle of the mix, but there's still some clarity and some distinction, right? Appreciate you so much. Thanks for tapping in. Yeah, like the structure on the guitar there, I think is great too. Like, yeah, I think the vast majority of this production structure and what you have there as far as like sound design choices is awesome. It works in the genre. It works with what you're doing here. I really wouldn't change too much of that. It's just clarity, right? Maybe pulling back on some reverbs, targeting some mud in the low mids between like 200 and 500 hertz, kind of in that lower pocket. Just giving yourself a little bit more clarity and distinction there, so the reference is a little cleaner. Beyond that, man, I think most of your sound design structure is great. I just would introduce a little bit of energy early on in the mix, in that first verse. Like here, you already have a lot of fullness with the rhythm electric guitars, with a higher lead electric guitar also doing another melody, like a harmony melody double tracked on the right side. So you already have all of that energy moving right there. And then you have a beautiful clean guitar that comes in. So you might need to and then also a synth that comes in with the, it also comes in with that lead melody here as well. And I think one other synth that comes in as well. So there's like 4 or 5 layers, all kind of competing for space in the high mids right here. So you'd probably you could deal with a little bit of clarity right here. Like you might want to pull the movement. You might want to pull that one back so it like barely is there, but it kind of floats around in the background. You might want to like pull the muted guitars down a little bit and allow those clean guitars to ring a little bit more. So I think a little bit more polished with just like where you place things, and what's forward and what's back. Again, so the engineer knows like what do you want to be prominent here? Do you want clean strums to be the main thing that you're hearing, or do you want muted guitars to be the main thing that you're hearing? And making that a little bit more obvious, a little bit more intentional will be nice. It would be cool to hear. I don't know what your capacity is with the guitars to like get a guitar solo. It would be cool to hear a guitar solo. It's a great open like bridge right here to lift the dynamics anymore. It'd be cool to hear even a lead strummed guitar solo. It's there. There's some stuff there, like it's bright and stuff. But like a lead, like open strummed, like high bright guitar solo to kind of fill in at the top there would be nice. Not necessary. It's pretty dynamic, but just an idea. You know what I mean? Like, just something at the top there to open it up a little bit. Yeah, let's go. I think it would be cool. It's not necessary, but it'd be cool. And then, yeah, push that vocal. Great dynamic range here. Even if you think and one thing you could do here, if you do introduce a pluck synth early, you can bring in that C, holding on the tonic here. You can bring that C back into play here. Even if you think I did, I won't stop thanking God for cut, boom. Like you can bring in that little taste. So there's like a little bit of another instrumental hook of like bringing some elements back into play. It exists in the first verse, second verse, and then like in your interlude right here as well. Little things like that. This is just taste stuff, right? This is great though, man. This is nice. Yeah, beautiful. All right, y'all show some love to Derek. Yeah. I think that about sums that one up. Let's move to the second one really quick. Let's get through it. We've got Never Be the Same. So this one's fresh, right? Yeah, this is an old song too, Kompatai. This is an old song from years ago that they're re-updating right now. Just gonna like update the production structure, like introduce some more like modern life, and then of course get it mixed. It's nowhere near mixed yet. Okay, Never Be the Same. New vocalist Ariana. Let's get it. Never Be the Same. New cinematic track. Ooh, it's been a little minute since I feel like it's been a little minute since we've heard a cinematic track. So let's get into it, man. All right, this is gonna close us up, y'all. I feel that so much. Nice to see the idea of getting touched with after someone. 100% Kompatai. I agree. You never know. I hang on to a lot of old stuff because you just never know what's going to work again. Like I have a drive folder of just like 200 old instrumentals and like partial songs, like whole hooks, like sometimes whole songs. And then you never know when you're going to like revisit something and be like, actually, that's like from 6 years ago, but the hooks the instrumental sucks. It doesn't even make sense anymore. It's like super out of date. But I was like, man, that lead melody is actually really nice. Or that bass synth on the verse was actually really cool. And you use it on a new song. You never know. Never know. She wrote the lyrics. I wrote the melodies. You heard the instrumental a while ago. Okay, beautiful. And with your background vocals. Let's dive in. This is Never Be the Same by Derek Bennett. Closing us out. Oh yeah, I remember that piano. It's time. Always.
Pressed your name into my spine.
Let's go, Derek. Let's go. These have your updated production notes on it. Okay, beautiful.
Stars aligned this time.
Yep, 100% calm. Okay.
You grew a strand inside my skin. When you reappear, I ask where you've been. Behind my back, between my mind. Did you find me or did you know?
She's got a good voice. Who are you, Vast? I'm proud to host you on our platform. Hey, I appreciate you tapping in. Do I know you on here? I appreciate you tapping in. Thanks for being here. Nice. Let's go. Hell yeah. And there's the syncopation at the end. Love that ending right there too. Y'all show some love to Derek Bennett. Let's run it through. We're gonna close it out right here. This is our last one for the day. So we're gonna get into this, some of the details of this last track. There's a couple little transitions in here, and percussion. Transitions and percussion that I'm looking at just structurally to feel like this is like impactful and the song moves out so people don't zone out, right? Because there's a lot of there's a lot of great production in here, a lot of great stuff. There's sometimes between the production structure and the vocal melody, the transition falls a little bit flat, even pre-mix. Derek, I've added you the host as well. Let's go. Shout out to Vouched. All right, let's run it from the top. Let's get into some details here. So I just want to make sure that the transitions throughout the song structure don't fall flat, and that the percussion is doing what it needs to do here. Because there's a lot going on that I think works really, really well together and feels vibrant, it feels impactful, and it feels really dynamic. But I want to make sure it's all pointed in the same direction. And some of it I think is creating like an energy that I don't know is pointed in the same direction as some of the other elements. So that's what I want to look at really quick. I really like intro and outro to me is really, really powerful. Some of them a little mud in the middle here, but I really like the early melodies here. I love even just the carry. These early melodies are really nice as well. It's moody, it's dark. You get this almost like clock tick, slowed down. I think that's what that is. Production-wise here, I feel like this is in a pretty good spot. Those drums coming in to me are throwing me off a little bit. The energy just changes pretty dramatically for me. Going into like a full-time like rock breakdown from like the darkness and depths of what's there before, it feels too like bright and snappy over the top. Yeah, I think a reworking of the percussion would change the structure of this a lot. Let me back it up a little bit. Because it to me, it's like everything's moving in one direction and then I gotta like turn and look this way a little bit. And I want something that lines up a little bit more. Yeah, okay, cool. I almost prefer, so this is D sharp minor. Right, that's the main big structure right there over that D sharp minor. I would almost prefer that you half time everything and keep it and just lean more cinematic. Don't go metal, like, because you don't have the support of like double tracked rhythm guitars. You don't have the support of like a lead guitar that's wailing over the top of like a vocal with fry. Like, you don't have like the support to allow, or even like a chug, like even underneath those drums, you almost need like a chuggy 6-string bass on a low D sharp. You know what I mean? Yeah, he said yet. Hey, if it's coming, it's coming. Add it in and send it back. But like, yeah, if it's coming, let me know. But hey, there's always a chance you could throw some. I never know with Derek. Derek could be like, hey, and by the way, here's a rapper, and then all right, by the way, we're doing opera today. Derek is all over the place, and I love it. It makes me happy. It's the same way I am. But you need something to support those drums, right? Like you can't have everything moving and have like this like digital cinematic alt pop record, like dark pop record, and then randomly like metal drums in the middle. It doesn't have any support. There's nothing else stylistically to like feed into that. So the way that I would look at it is probably just shifting those out. If you want something like that in there, just go halftime. Just instead of right there, like have more. Or even just that's like an alternative half, like go. and keep it a little bit more probably digital and like thick, fat, digital, saturated, as opposed to like thin, snappy, transient acoustic. I would like go to the opposite, like think of what those drums are and do the opposite. I'm not trying to be like over dramatic. Like do the opposite. Like go like digital, distorted, bit crushed. Like is that the new ones you got? Is that the new ones you got? Let me see something here real quick. What do I have on here? Fat snare. I think that's better. I think that's better regardless. Let's see. I have a Mellotron up here. I don't need the Mellotron in here. Let me see. Let me see if I can like. I'll do the super. To me, that's like the main thing that needs to change. It's the main. I'm gonna go to battery just for 2 seconds. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on here. But just for 2 seconds, to see. Yo, whoa, oh my God. Oh, no. Lonnie's in the building. Lonnie, what's going on? Thank you so much for tapping in. Shout out to Libby. Shout out to Libby for sitting here. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Yeah, drop a question. I'm going to break down in the middle of this consultation, but I'll answer as soon as I possibly can. I appreciate you being here so much. And thank you for the follow as well. I appreciate that. Okay, let me get, because I want to change to more of a digital structure. I think if you stay acoustic, Derek, if you stay acoustic, you're still going to run into this like separation from some of the other production elements that you have that I don't think lends itself to being as impactful, because you're just limited by how much transients and snap you can get out of that acoustic snare. So take care of our girl Lonnie. She needs help. I definitely will. And everybody go follow the Cozy Tiger too. Everybody go follow the Cozy Tiger. I will absolutely. Okay. Okay, let me see. Let me just see what's going on here really quick. This is nasty. Sorry, Derek. Let me. Gosh, sorry. This is so noisy and terrible. I'm between two guitars. I'm a beginner. I'm not sure what to choose between a Yamaha F335 or a Mitchell Launch D100 Dreadnought. Oh, beautiful. Okay, yeah, I got you. Give me a couple minutes to finish out the end of this here, and then I got you. Okay. So use your imagination here. Use your imagination here, Derek, and I'm going to. Battery has been giving me some issues. I updated it and it's still giving me some issues. So I'm going to try something here really quick. I'm going to detune. There we go. And we're going to go to the master here to saturate. I know he geeks out on this shit, so he'll be having to, perpetually geeked out on music stuff. So you've come to the right place. I'm so happy to help you. Okay, so here's kind of, yeah, the trash crashes and the Chinas and stuff like that. To me, it's a big departure from kind of like the energy that's in the rest of the song. Okay, so let me. This is gonna sound horrible. Don't use these drums. I'm just so ignore exactly what I'm doing and shift your perspective to digital sampling instead of acoustic drums. Just you'll get the idea. Even though this is not necessarily what I would do. Okay. Okay, and then what are these samples? Jesus. I may have guitars to take this more metal. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying is like that needs to be the first decision that you make. Is if you're gonna go more metal, then you need metal support. You need 5-string D-tune, low C sharp, chug distorted basses with quad tracked rhythm guitars, and then metal drums. But if you just have like pizzicatos and smooth strings and a piano melody and then metal drums, there's a disconnect between most of the production structure and some of the lead elements that you have there. So yeah, you just have to make that decision. If you keep this, I like the kind of moody alternative pops, like dark pop stuff that you have here in the intro, right? Like, I like all this. This mood is really cool to me. See, hear that? This feel. I like that kind of a drum and this kind of a percussion, right? Or in this kind of a production. It feels darker. It feels a little moodier, a little bit darker than like a metal snare and like a really transient drum. And these two versions, dude, hell yeah, dude, do two versions, 100%. Okay, I'll get into the main part of the structure, and this is not necessarily what I would do, but just to get your own wheels spinning, hopefully. Let's see. So imagine the halftime, but it's like cutting it in half. Like it's a little bit moodier, a little bit darker. What kind of snare? Honestly, it's kind of like a filtered trap snare, a little bit. You know, if this was like unfiltered, and, you know, you could do some like boom bap with this. You could take this into it's almost like a rim shot. You can do a lot of different things with it. I think it's created more for probably hip hop, but honestly, it's kind of like a really like sharp trap snare. But you know, I would just start running through some stuff, and see what fits, right? Just like toss a bunch of saturation and reverb on a snare and see what happens, right? I'm gonna get out of battery now here and back to my piano. Where's my piano? That's not piano. And let's close this up here so I can get to Lonnie's question as well. Okay, but that to me is like, I just think you either need to lean metal and make it progressive and gritty and heavy, or you need to lean dark pop and make this like almost like a No Time to Die Billie Eilish 007 track. Do you know what I mean? Like that's, I'm living in two different worlds right now. Like on the one hand, you have this like moody dark pop song, and on the other end, you have metal drums and some like sharp strings that could be like an NF record or like a metal record. And I don't mind the hybrid, but we need something to bridge the gap. Yeah, like I just need something. So like if you're gonna hybridize, that's perfectly fine, and you should be really creative with that. But make sure there's something in there to bridge the gap. Some gritty bass, some synths to support it, or bias more pop, or bias more metal, or whatever. I think if you do that, you'll be in a really, really great space. Okay, let me play through this outro kind of last hook right here, and then we'll get to Lonnie's question. We'll close it out. I do too, and dude, honestly, do both. Like you said, like you have the track, you have the vocals. Get them both done. Do something that feels a little moodier, a little bit more interesting and dynamic, and then something that's just like a rock song. And the intro, boom, boom, dum, 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 dum. Like, and then like on the low. Whoops, I'm yanking out my headphones here. Hold on. All right, on the low part, you could have this like so it's a me. That sounds like Crazy Train, but like you could have some of that like crunch with like a low rhythm guitar. It sounds like I'm playing Crazy Train. R.I.P. All right. But you get the idea. You could lean into a metal track by just making sure that there's a bass and guitar structure to support it. Okay, let's play out this last part, and then we'll. I want to go back to the question here. Yeah, I know, I feel you. I like that interlude right there too. Let me hear this outro one more time. One more time. One more time.
You left no proof, you left no blame, just empty walls that scream my name. Now I'll never be the same. I'll never be the same. I'll never be the same.
It's a cool production, man. It's a cool production. I like it a lot. Excuse me. Y'all show some love, man. That's Derek Bennett. He's over on the Red app right now. He's over on the Red app. Shout out to Derek Bennett, man. You're so incredibly talented. I appreciate you sending in these tracks, man. You're really, really accomplished with your productions. Yeah, to me, it's just like kind of it's not even picking a lane, but biasing towards a lane a little bit more so that it feels a little bit more like cohesive. It feels a little bit more directed and a little bit more pointed with where you want it to go. But the main like vocal structure and production structure is so good. Yeah, comp, we're on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok right now. I'm running. You don't want to know. It's chaos over here. It's crazy. Back to work. But yeah, it's OBS, but it's also I'm running two completely separate laptops. So I have OBS that is sending a signal with my camera right up here. It's a C100 Mark II. I have OBS running to YouTube and Twitch. It's the same stream. And then over here on TikTok, it's actually sending it over to another laptop to run TikTok Studio on PC since I have a Mac. And then running TikTok Studio over here through a separate interface, a separate cable system, a separate computer, and a separate stream. It's for because it's special. Huh? Are we almost? Yeah, that was it. Yeah, we're done. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, it's not that insane to set up, but it's kind of insane to set up. If I just had a PC, it would be easier because I would just use OBS on a PC and run into everything. But the PC I have is not powerful enough for that. And my MacBook is where I have all kinds of all of my Pro Tools and everything. Yeah, it's fun. It's kind of a nightmare sometimes because if there's like a glitch in technology in any one of those factors, then it's going to be a nightmare to deal with. Okay, really quick. Okay, so let me yay. Okay, Lonnie's in the building. Okay, Lonnie, you're still here, right? Let me see. Perfect. Okay. So I'm between two guitars. I'm a beginner. I'm not sure what to choose between a Yamaha F335. Okay, yeah, that's like their beginner spruce guitar, I think, right? And I'll look at a couple things here. The F335. It's funny because I was looking for like a random cheap guitar the other day and I found one for like $60 on Marketplace. On Marketplace, I'm pretty sure it was an F335. It's their like laminated spruce top. Anyways, Mitchell launch and a Mitchell launch D100 Dreadnought. And you're between. Okay, do you have one now? I love that. I love it. Shout out to you for taking on guitar. Shout out to the calluses, the many calluses to come. Do you have a guitar currently, or you're just getting into it and you've been messing around and you are buying your first one? Let me know that. Because that kind of determines. I've never used a guitar. This will be my first one. Okay, I'm gonna take you in a different direction. Actually, what you have here is nothing wrong with it. If you were to choose between these two, so shout out to you. I love it. I love that it's fair warning. It is your first 3 months are a little bit painful. If you can just push through the first 3 months, you will be perfectly fine and you'll be able to play for the rest of your life. But you have to like push through it and just like play for 10 minutes a day. It's going to hurt. You're going to have lines in your fingers from this. I forget which camera I'm on. Like lines in your fingers from the stream. It's not going to be easy, but if you can like push through the first 3 months, you got it. You can do it. I promise. That it's the calluses that are the most annoying part. I'm gonna send you in a little bit of a different direction just because I have one here with me. I can literally show you, and it's very, very affordable. It's from my favorite guitar company too. It's totally worth it. If you were to choose between the two that you sent me, the D100 or the Yamaha, I would go with the Yamaha. They are just a more reputable company. You're probably gonna have better build quality if you have any issues, like you lose a peg when you're restringing it, Yamaha's probably going to be more likely to have many, many different parts, because that peg, they probably put in 15 of their base level affordable guitars, and they have 50 billion of them in stock. So like, it's like little things, like a more established, sometimes boutique stuff, or like cheaper, like Chinese made, like acoustic guitars off like Amazon and stuff like that. They can, they can be really cheap, 120 bucks, 150 bucks, but it can be much harder because they're not really like made by a brand so much as they're just like made by a factory, and then just licensed out to there's probably 70 different companies that actually use that guitar and put their logo on it. Yamaha's going to be a little bit more established, and you're probably going to have just better access to them if anything goes wrong. I have several Yamaha things, and I've like 2 or 3 Yamaha synths in here. It's just way easier to contact companies like that if you ever have an issue. So if you were going to choose between those two, I would go with the Yamaha. I think it's a spruce top. It's going to be like bright and pretty playable and lightweight. I think that would be a better option of the two that you sent. If you're just starting out, I wouldn't recommend this to everybody, but it's great if you're just learning and you need something a little bit easier to just like hang on to and toss around. It's called a parlor guitar. Yeah, the crash outs, it's so valid. It's so valid. I have had many of them myself. This is a parlor guitar. So this is the one, I'm going to move this out of the way just a little bit. This is the one that I use. This is a Gretsch Jim Dandy. I think it's not Jim Dandy. Is it Jim Dandy? Yeah, it is. It is Jim Dandy. I was like, wait, hold on. This is a Gretsch. Gretsch is like my favorite guitar company. I have another one and I want to get more. I love their guitars. Incredible build quality. They're really, really nice, but they also make like $10,000. Like the Beatles were some of the most, the Beatles kind of popularized a lot of them in the 60s. They had like a 57, like in the 50s and 60s. This is, ignore half of this. But anyways, the Duo Jet, which is an old one I used to have, those are like, thousands and thousands of dollars, but they also make like super cheap stuff. So like this guitar is like 150 bucks. It's like it's super cheap. But it's pretty, and it's smaller and it's lightweight. So you're going to get like a slightly smaller. So like the neck itself is a little bit smaller. It's going to be a lot easier for you to like wrap your hand around it. Very like easy action. So it's not going to be like be very difficult for you to like press down on the strings, especially if you and I would recommend get really like lightweight strings at first. So that it doesn't feel like incredibly, incredibly difficult for you to press, so that you can work through those calluses a little bit easier. And then, yeah, I got you. So this is the Jim Dandy. Let me pull it up. Actually, I'm here. I want to say I got this for like 160 bucks or something like that. I have a Gretsch. I'll show you. I have another Gretsch comp. I'll show you. It's beautiful. It's super dirty right now. I need to clean it and change the strings. I'll show you though. It's a streamliner. 200. It's 200. Okay, it's a little bit more expensive. 200. It's not crazy. But it's super. So it's a little bit smaller. So like if you can imagine like your typical dreadnought now, if you want, and I can actually hold on. Let me do this. I can just type it for you right here. Beautiful. Look at that. Technology. Gorgeous. Yeah. Gretsch Jim Dandy. So, they make different versions of this. And I like different colors, like black, and I like this like walnut one. It's got a cool finish, but, they make a dreadnought. A dreadnought is what you were looking at initially. It's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit fatter, probably a deeper sound if you care about like the sonics, like if you care about the sound. So they do have a dreadnought that's a little bit bigger. And I think they have another one on there. I'm not positive, another version of it. So if you want a bigger guitar, like a more typical, like broad guitar, they do have a dreadnought that you can get. This is called a parlor guitar and it's smaller. So this is like, it almost, even though it's like a full, it almost feels like a kid's guitar kind of, but it's not. It's an adult sized guitar. But it's a lot easier to play. It's just small. It's lightweight. You can toss it in like a small bag in your car on the back seat, and you don't have to like worry about it. These are awesome. And honestly, I still track with it. I record with this all the time, and it's so easy to toss around. But I feel like this would probably be easier for you to learn on starting out. Like it's smaller. It's easier to like find where things are. It's not going to feel so bulky and like you're wrapped around it. I just feel like it'll be a little bit more like reasonable to start on, and it still sounds great. Like this is still a reputable company. You can buy these on, at Guitar Center, at Sweetwater. You can probably get them on Amazon too, honestly. It's a really good company. They make some of the best guitars in the world. So it's like it's like you can start here and then you can always like upgrade over time to something a little bit better. But I think this is for $200, it's like about as good as it gets for $200. Hopefully that helps. But if you did still want to go like Dreadnought, like with the options that you sent, then I think the Yamahas it would be the better way to go. Is the bulkier ones harder to work with? I did read the Dreadnoughts are, but yeah, they are. They're going to be fatter than this guitar by probably an inch or two. They're going to be taller than this guitar by probably 3 or 4 inches taller. So as far as like how it sits on your lap like this versus it being this big, right? Like this guitar here is like, it's like small. Like you can see how like small this is. This is like a nice. It's like it's small. A Dreadnought's going to be like this. It's going to be like up here. So it's going to be bulkier, a little bit fatter. And again, there's pros to that. It's going to sound probably better. It's going to, I was going to say nylon C40, but the neck is, yeah, right. So if you're just starting out, you don't got any calluses, a thinner neck is going to be helpful. A parlor is going to be probably a good option. Nylon's good too. It's, not as hard to play sometimes, but anyways, it's just going to be thicker. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be probably a thicker neck as well. So having something like a parlor guitar when you're starting out, it's like a little bit more manageable, if that makes sense. You're not like hugging this big thing. The Dreadnoughts are great. I mean, they're going to sound better because they're bigger. So they're going to like resonate more. They're going to sound fuller and deeper and fatter and all that stuff. Like it's going to probably sound a little bit better. But if your priority is not like tracking the best guitar possible, but it's just, I want to learn, I want to like get good at it, I want to practice scales and learn chords to be able to play some of my favorite songs, a parlor guitar will still track well. I literally do this for a living and I track with it every day. But it's takes a little bit more work to make it sound better in studio sometimes. But if you're just learning, I would probably prioritize something simpler, smaller. The other thing, side note here, is the parlor guitar that I have here doesn't plug in. So if you care about that, that's another, subject. You can always mic it if you want to record it and stuff like that. But there's other options. If you want an acoustic electric guitar that you can like plug into an amp or like plug into an interface and record it. I mic this. So I use literally this mic or some of the other mics I have in the studio and I just mic that guitar up and play it. But if you want something that plugs in, I think they do have an option for that. It's just like $80 more expensive. And then there's other, let me look up really quick, the F355. I don't think that one's electric either. So you should be fine. Yeah, I think it's the same. James, welcome in. Good to see you, James. Appreciate you being here. Yeah. So yeah, it comes down to a little bit of it's like knowing what you want and then just kind of like your preference. Do you want to bias towards what sounds better or what's more playable that still sounds pretty good? And that's kind of the option that I will go with. Yeah, I've had this parlor guitar for probably the last 3 years or so. And I love it. I would love to get a bigger acoustic, like a nicer, bigger acoustic in here, but it's just, I'm not pressed to because it sounds really good. But Comp, I hope that's helpful. You'll appreciate this. This is my Streamliner right here. I don't know if it'll show the best, but this is my triple humbucker gold hardware Gretsch semi-hollow Streamline. I love this thing so much. It's one of the best sounding guitars that I have. It's just super dirty right now. It is so gorgeous. It sounds so good. It's just very dusty right now because it has a Bigsby and I haven't wanted to change the strings on it, but it's all gold hardware all the way through with the Perloid frets. I love this thing so much and it sounds it's all out of tune and crazy. One of the most playable, versatile guitars. I think I saw that one in your viral. Yeah, you probably the bass video that I did. I was playing this guitar. It sounds so good. It sounds just a quick little instrument haul. Yeah. So I just traded I just traded a bunch of stuff. That's my Streamliner, semi-hollow body. And then I have my Strat. This is like my, I know it's 2 seconds. It's just fun. It'll take two. I'm hungry as fuck. All right, we'll get at it. This is my Stratocaster. It's just a Fender, Fender Squier Stratocaster. This is I forget which one this is. I forget what it's called. Anyways, but this is like my workhorse one. This is like the guitar I use every day. Like I won't talk. I promise not to talk synths. If we talk synths, we will literally never use here. We call it the S word. I know. What's cool is this matches my Hofner. I'll show the Hofner in a second. But we won't talk synths. Synths, I will quite literally never shut up about synths. I love synths with all my heart. Anyways, this is my Strat. That's like my, like I said, my kind of like workhorse. I use that one it's like the one I go to all the time. And then I just traded in for this one. Actually, this is my Gretsch C1 Plus. Love the finish on this thing. The finish on this thing is just absolutely gorgeous. It's really, really cool. This is like if I need, and I love the inlays too. Let me see if I can get where are the inlays? Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, the inlays are beautiful. This is like yeah, next time we'll dive into this. But this is like if I need, like, obviously, like the Stratocaster is super vertical. It's super vertical. Or versatile. What am I talking about? I need to eat, obviously. But this is like if I need something for like metal, gang, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. If I need something for like rock, metal, stuff like that, I'm gonna go to the Schecter. And then last but not least, I just got this one matching Perloyd pit guard. This is a Hofner B bass, kind of emulated off the 50s and 60s. It's just a 6-string, but this is my newest bass, violin bass. I love this thing. I have yet to track with it. I literally just got it like yesterday, 2 days ago. It matches the Strat, but it's got multiple functions, rhythm and solo modes, bass on, treble on. It's beautiful, and it's pristine, absolutely pristine. It's so good. Anyways, so like I like a lot of like 50s and 60s stuff, like 60s, 70s stuff. I really like the 80s too. So if I'm ever doing like dead, dry, like even like stuff like real quick, and then I promise y'all we'll eat. Like I have like this kind of, not that, like stuff like this. It's kind of like dry and dead. This is where you would have like a bass like that, like really dead and distorted, like really punchy and stuff like that. That's where I would have like a bass that feels like a little dry and a little punchy and stuff like that. Anyways, y'all, that is going to close us out for today. I've got to get out of here. I've got to eat. I'm so hungry and I'm very tired. So I'm going to get out of here. I love y'all and I appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me today, for sending in y'all's music. I appreciate it more than you know. Of course, Lonnie, absolutely anytime. I love talking music. I love talking gear. I love talking stuff in any way that I can help y'all. I promise I will always do my best to. In any capacity, whether it's about your music, stuff that you're working on, gear that you're wanting to, that you're interested in. I talk gear all day. It's one of my favorite things to do. So any questions y'all have, definitely let me know. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I will be streaming again tomorrow. I just got to get, I'm a classically trained pianist. So I've played, in one of my senior pieces was Rachmaninoff in C sharp minor. That was all of that was, I played a lot of those pieces growing up. So yeah, I do appreciate classical and like orchestral music and stuff like that. I would actually love to get into more classical scoring. It would be really fun. But yeah, I've been playing piano since I was 6 years old. Anyways, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. We'll be back on live tomorrow. I'm going to take care of some, yeah, of course, dude. I'm going to be back on live tomorrow afternoon. So tap in. I'll probably be on for just like three or four hours tomorrow. Probably nothing too crazy. Just because I gotta finish up some projects in the morning. So anyways, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Hopefully I will see y'all very soon. Quick, just a note before we hop off. For those of you who don't know, my name is Torvik. I'm a full-time audio engineer, producer, and session musician. If you're ever interested in any of those services, whether those are full production packages, you're looking for an audio engineer to mix and master your music, you're looking for session work. I do a lot of session work. It's one of my favorite things to do. So acoustic, electric, and bass guitars. I've got live drums in the studio. Vocal synths are my favorite thing. Synths are my favorite thing in the world, as we were mentioning earlier. So I love tracking synths. If you ever need, analog synthesis or even digital synthesis in your music, let me know. Shoot me a message, or you can reach out to me through our website, theobsidiankey.com. Just hit us up through the contact form. We'll get in touch with you, talk budget, talk timeline, all that fun stuff, and we'll get in touch soon. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Hopefully we'll see y'all very soon.